Streaming live on the Fanatic app and YouTube channel. Here are your hosts, John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Yes, we are here. Good Monday morning. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, as yesterday was a fun night watching some World Baseball Classic. We are 10 days away from opening day. Sixers and Flyers continue to be in action. And we finally got a bit of Eagles news that we've been waiting for this past weekend. Johnny, how are you today?
Some good news.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good news. When we saw that came across yesterday, I said, wow, some good off-season news for the Eagles.
Yeah, because it's been relatively quiet. Most of the news has been players exiting, but we were all waiting for one of these names to not exit, and that name was Dallas Goedert. So Dallas Goedert is back with the Philadelphia Eagles for his 9th season in the NFL, all with the Eagles, as we know. $7 million on a one-year deal, $4.25 million signing bonus. That $20.5 million dead cap hit gets kicked to another year. Apparently, we're going to go through the song and dance again next year, but that goes out the window for now, which is great. Now they have more financial flexibility. I'll be honest, shocked that it was only $7 million.
I can't believe it. Because it's the most shocking story of this whole Dallas Goedert drama is the idea that this man, who we both have a ton of respect for, you
Absolutely.
were borderline devastated last year if he walked away, that on the open market 2 years in a row, he has not been able to find a multi-year deal.
Isaiah Likely, who I like, very, very solid player, he got a 3-year, $40 million contract that comes out to over $13 million a year. Cade Otton, who we talked about, if the Eagles don't re-sign Dallas Goedert, is that a guy that they can pivot to? He got a 3-year, $30 million contract, so he's got $10 million a year. And I put Dallas Goedert up with those guys, right? Like I understand that Dallas Goedert's a little bit older.
We do, but it's obvious the NFL does not.
Yeah, the league doesn't, man.
And to me, that is fascinating. And I had some people last night on socials just asking some questions, going, "Well, it just shows how much he loves Philly that he's willing to play for less to be here and just do one-year deals." I'm like, BS.
Yeah, I don't think that's the story.
No.
When last year he was willing to leave the Philadelphia Eagles if he could find his market wasn't there.
He would have been willing to leave this year too.
Yeah. And the market once again wasn't there.
I don't understand it because we both, all of us, on this show, we just respect the hell out of the guy, and he had an incredible year last year that I did not see coming, especially the red zone year. Was incredible.
Yeah,
he was unbelievable.
Spectacular. Kevin Patullo, the one nice thing I can say about him, man. He finally figured out a way to get Dallas Goedert involved.
I'm thrilled he's back, but I am shocked that you got Dallas Goedert for $7 million. Look,
it works out for the Eagles.
He takes a pay cut.
Yeah, he had a better year. He had a career year and lost money.
He takes a pay cut.
Which is wild, but good for the Eagles for him to be back and for less money, which maybe allows the Eagles to get a little bit more creative with some of the next moves that will happen, right? They got to fill the roster, so that's going to happen, or maybe that Jalen Carter contract extension that we're all kind of waiting for.
Which seems to be, if you're following the Eagles' beats, the local beats seem to all be of one note, that they believe that is a shoe that is going to drop sooner than later.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe A.J. Brown post-June 1st, if he does get traded, does that open the door to the extension of Jalen Carter, because then they can know what the money is that they work with. We all know that June 1st date, $40 million dead cap hit. If he gets traded beforehand, it drops to $20 million if it's post-June 1st, and it gets spread out over 2 seasons. So,
which is more of a benefit, but now that the money with Dallas Goedert's off, they don't have to worry about the $20 million cap hit. It does give them more flexibility to be able to take it this year.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to trade him, it doesn't hurt as much.
Nope.
Let's put it that way.
So there's your update on the Eagles. And look, we will talk about how the Dallas Goedert signing may have shifted the A.J. Brown conversations, because as soon as Dallas Goedert signs, every reporter immediately does this is what it means for A.J. Brown. We'll tell you more about that later on in the 6 o'clock hour. But, man, last night, Team USA takes down the DR 2-1 in what was an electric game from start to finish. The atmosphere in Miami yesterday, majority of the fans supporting the Dominican Republic, but great atmosphere yesterday, and Team USA wins 2-1. Skeens that dude's ridiculous, man. I know he gave up the lone run, but he's going through that lineup, a lineup that consists of Fernando Tatis Jr., Ketel Marte, Juan Soto, Vlad Jr., Manny Machado, Junior Cabanero hit the home run yesterday, Julio Rodriguez, Austin Wells, and Geraldo Perdomo. Like that.
And he's still
that's an all-star team.
He gives up 6 hits, and I saw people going like, man, they're getting to Skeens tonight. I'm like, they're not getting to Skeens.
They're not getting to
These are just really great hitters against a great pitcher. And what I love about Skeens is that he doesn't give a damn. He's going to chant his best stuff.
Yeah.
And these guys can hit his best stuff. But he keeps them in the park.
Because
he knows
they're an all-star team.
He knows how to pitch. It was awesome. That was absolutely great. A great performance to be able to watch.
I'm curious because you were a little more hesitant to get all juiced up for the World Baseball Classic. It seems like you've been enjoying it a little bit.
I've enjoyed this. Like last night, I enjoyed that big time. And I, though, am a dork with a lot of people don't enjoy a 2-1 game. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's great theater.
I love it. A lot of people don't find that, a lot of people will find that boring. I do not. I love a pitcher's duel with some great defense.
Oh, dude, Aaron Judge gunning out Fernando Tatis Jr. at third base.
And am I wrong that I don't think of Aaron Judge being this?
Yes.
I'm wrong with that?
Yeah, he's an incredible defender.
Yeah, but I mean,
really, really good.
Is it like I thought they said something on the game that he doesn't do that in the regular season?
No,
like gun people out.
Because one, he plays at Yankee Stadium most of the time. It's not that big of a park.
That's the truth.
And 2, nobody runs on him because he's a 7'4" dinosaur in right field.
And 3, when you think of Aaron Judge, what's the first thing you think of? 60 home runs, right?
Right.
That's the first thing. But no, his arm's ridiculous.
Oh, no. I knew that he was good. I just didn't think that's the second time he's done that.
Yeah. In this World Baseball Classic, makes a diving play yesterday.
That was unbelievable.
Rogers comes in for Skeens in the 5th inning, was able to get a ground ball. They turned a really good double play. I mean, the defense, it's the best of the best, right? Like we're watching the best players in the world. I know the other day when DeRosa was being a moron and sat a couple of players, including Bryce Harper, we acted as if, Bryce Harper sat and Connor Thomas, played first base that day.
I'm ready to go.
Right? Like they still had another all-star ready to go. It's the best of the best. It's why this tournament is so much fun, and there is country pride to it. And now the matchup is set for what everybody thought it would be. Team USA versus either Venezuela or Italy. Japan gets knocked out.
It's a little bit of anticlimactic, to say the least.
Some would say that this last night was the championship game.
I would say
that's probably what's going to be a big talking point.
Some would be correct that that's the case.
Now
there was a lot of look. Come on, it's last night was it.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great.
And yesterday was the precursor to the ABS challenge system
because that was terrible. That last pitch. Come on.
If you missed it. Again, we're Team USA. Yeah,
that's great.
They're going to the championship game. They'll either play Venezuela or they will play Italy. We find that out tonight, 8 o'clock, first pitch. In the 8th and 9th innings, the Dominican Republic had a called strike 3, same spot, inches below the zone. Back-to-back innings to end it. One ends the 8th inning with a runner on third base. The other one ends the game. And again, this is what a lot of people, John, I'm looking at you. You want the challenge system.
I can't wait because I want robotic balls and strikes.
I'm with you. I
don't want a challenge system. There's no reason to have a challenge system. There's nothing charming about games being decided by incompetent boobs behind home plate.
Bit of a stretch.
That's incompetence. That's absolutely atrocious that great games like that are destroyed because of the fact that a guy can't even call balls and strikes. Those were horrendous calls. And look, it's not the only determinant of that game.
Right.
Like it's not, I'm not making it out like that's the only reason that game that went that way. But that's atrocious. And the Dominican Republic has every reason to bitch and complain. And that's the reason why. Just let a system that is 99.87% accurate call balls and strikes because humans can't do it like that. It's terrible. And games are determined by it.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
I mean, literally, the game, the
and
one.
we'd be bitching about it.
Oh, we absolutely.
If the U.S. lost because of it, we'd be crying about it because it shouldn't happen that way.
Right.
It's terrible.
And the 8th inning was even more egregious.
I thought so.
There was a runner on third base. Like the inning continues. It's a 3-2 pitch.
Inning
continues with runners on the corners.
It's almost as if they wanted the U.S. to be in the Game on. It's almost as if they wanted the U.S. to be in the championship game.
Yeah.
Almost as if.
Would you leave your tinfoil at home?
Yeah, well, so it certainly seems like
Look,
those are
sure
two.
You're not the only person that's thought
those
that.
are two horrendous calls. Two horrendous calls.
I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't want that stadium filled with the Dominican Republic
I know that.
fans.
Because it's much better for U.S. baseball to win the World Baseball Classic. For Major League Baseball,
Sure.
it's more important, which Major League Baseball is the lifeblood behind this tournament. They're the reasons that they won it. It's much better for U.S. baseball to win this tournament.
I thought he was Chechen electricians.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the happy-go-lucky story, and then they lose
That's a great story.
Lose every single game.
Well, that's like the guy. That's a first-round NCAA story. Connor.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a first weekend
That's
NCAA
Miami,
tournament.
Ohio in the 11-11
Exactly.
play-in.
Yeah, I like it, though.
So your reaction to Dallas Goedert re-signing, 610-632-0975.
thrilled, right?
Thrilled
Everybody
about
thrilled?
it. Yeah.
Everybody's
I don't see why anybody wouldn't be. And then, look, if you want to talk about the World Baseball Classic game last night, feel free. But here's where we're going to actually really get our conversation going this morning, Johnny. Because I was thinking about this last night. Because, Flyers, at least they got a point, Johnny.
I was there Saturday night. Had a great night at the hockey rink.
That's right. You
great time. Really enjoyed
Christina
ourselves.
was on the Zamboni.
Christine had a nice little Zamboni ride. She had a fun time.
awesome.
She was something she's always wanted to do, and I was able to surprise her with that. So she had a good time.
That's great.
It was fun.
So Flyers get the points Saturday. As we talked about last week, they have reached daily standings check-in, right? Every single morning before the show, or even Sunday morning when you wake up, you look at the wild card standings or the standings in the Metro, and you go, all right, where are the Flyers at? The Sixers, they played last night, and they're playing with a bunch of guys because Embiid's out, Maxi's out, Paul George is out with the suspension, and they get the win. If there was a time for the Sixers to benefit from all these injuries, it's right now with the schedule that they've gone through. They've won 3 out of their last 4, but that quickly changes tomorrow when they play the Denver Nuggets, and they'll play some better teams after that. Kings, Jazz, winnable games, and then it gets difficult after that.
Then it gets difficult.
So I was thinking about this because we're reacting to the Eagles every single day, and A.J. Brown, that's top of mind for a lot of people every single day. And the Phillies are 10 days away, and the offseason hasn't necessarily been a fun one, right?
No.
Like, I don't think anybody's been thrilled with the
club.
offseason the Phillies have had. They got a good club.
Good club.
Sixers and Flyers are still pushing for playoff spots. Sixers will be in at least a play-in game. Flyers, don't hold your breath, but let's hope. If there was a word to describe your feelings toward Philadelphia sports right now, Johnny, what would that word be, and can you explain it?
Unfulfilled.
Oh, not unfiltered.
No, unfiltered is 2-6 here on the Fanatic. Unfulfilled.
That's a good word. Strong.
I think because one organization gives me constant hope, one gives me constant agita, and the other two are just unfulfilled promises. So I say unfulfilled.
I think it's a strong word.
That's where I feel. Yeah, unfulfilled.
All right, well, we want people to do this. Give us a word and then explain why. I'm stressed.
You're stressed? Is your word?
Is my word for Philadelphia sports right now.
Okay, stressed.
Stress doesn't mean I'm miserable and life's over, but I'm stressed right now. I don't really have to go chapter verse with my feelings toward the Phillies. Like, I really don't. But
we've done that ad nauseum.
But if you remember last year, we talked about it. Could last year have been the last hurrah of the core? For good reason that we had that conversation, because of the age of where everybody was at, and money and free agency was coming up. JT was a free agent. Kyle Shore was a free agent. They've been trying to trade Nick Castellanos since the day they signed him. Alec Boehm, they tried trading the last 2 years. So we all got the sense that last year was the last hurrah of the core. And they're bringing back the core, except for Nick Castellanos. So that's stressful to me. The Flyers, I just want to see them make the freaking playoffs. I'll be honest.
That's what we're looking for.
That's all I want at this point.
See, I with the Flyers, I say I did not expect them, and I think anybody who expected them to be a playoff team this year had unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
This team was not built to make the playoffs this year, but I wanted to see them have the best year of the Jones-Briere administration, and they can still do that. 7 wins in their last 16 games, they can do that. It's going to be a hard push to get that 7 wins.
Sure.
But I think they can do it.
And I'm stressed to see if they can take that next step forward, next year and the year after that. Sixers, it's my life is stress with the Sixers.
Well,
it's a walking stress. And then, by the way, I watched Jared McCain go off again off the bench for the Thunder yesterday, and the Sixers couldn't find a way to play him. So I'm stressed not only about the state of the actual players, but I'm stressed about the leadership. I'm stressed about the decisions made by the top people. We talked about how if this goes awry to the point where they're the 10th seed and they're just playing in a play-in, how much the changes would be this offseason, especially if they lose early and don't even play in the playoffs. Like, a lot of changes could be coming. And then the Eagles, I brought up to you guys last week that I believe, and you agreed and Connor agreed, Andrew DeCecco was the only one that disagreed with us, that this is a state of the franchise level importance draft. That's a month away. Yeah, I'm stressed about that.
I think you should be. I think you absolutely should feel the way that you do. I agree with you on that. I'm still shocked that Andrew feels that way, because I do believe that if they don't get it right as far as the offensive line, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
This is going to be a problem.
I think we're teetering with each team right now. Like, as much
want
as
the window to be open a long time for this Eagles. There's so many good young talents on this Eagles team.
Absolutely.
But if you don't get this offensive line right in this draft and you don't start restocking that shelf, this window can close very quickly.
Yeah. And to be clear, I'm not saying it won't happen. Like, I just want that to be clear.
Right.
But I could be stressed about something if it goes one way or the other. Phillies, I think they're contenders, but I'm still stressed about them. Sixers, it's like tax season. We're here again, right? Can we be healthy? It's the same time every year. Tax season is the same time every year, mid-April, right? You start thinking about it in March because maybe you're a little bit later to the party, like I am every single year. The Sixers are like that. Can they be healthy? It's the same story. So, Connor, I'll ask you, if there was a word to describe your feelings toward Philadelphia sports right now, what would that word be and why?
I'm going to go with close. And you got to think about it a couple of ways when I say that, because it is a sliding scale of being close to where you want to be. Some teams in the city are close because they're just one move away from being there. Some teams are close, but they're heading in the wrong direction. So, like, the Eagles are close to Super Bowl contention for me. They have work to do, but they're in the mix. The Phillies are close to World Series contenders if things fall their way this season. The Flyers are close to being a playoff team again, which at this point in the rebuild is all you can really ask for. And I think the Sixers, when healthy, are close to being a team that could compete in the East, but they're heading in the wrong direction because of injuries.
And age.
And age, and that's a whole nother thing. But I do think more than not with these teams, when I evaluate them all individually, I'm like, okay, we're closer than we are further away of where we want each of these teams to be. There's just one or two hurdles that they can't get over, each of them individually.
Okay, here's where we're getting to. So you believe they're closer than further away?
I believe for the Eagles and Phillies, yes.
Eagles, I absolutely think they're closer.
Flyers closer to what we want, which is playoff contention. I can't talk about Stanley Cup with that team.
Right.
And the Sixers, I think,
we're further away.
God only knows, man. They can't stay healthy. Who cares how they build the roster if everybody's hurt?
Yeah, they're further away.
Yeah.
Sixers are further away.
Yeah.
I don't know. And honestly, I think the Flyers, I honestly think it could go either way. And we'll talk to Keith Jones later today. I think it could go either way. They're in a really critical spot right now of I think some things that have happened to them draft-wise and everything haven't worked out the way that we would have wanted. So they got to get goaltending fixed. They got to get, and more than just Dan Vladar being somebody who steps in here and does well. They need a good young goaltender to be a future of the franchise. We're going to see. We're going to see how that works. Phillies,
they're close because they'll win 90 games and they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't believe in the core. Like, I don't believe this core. This core's had so many chances, and they've shown us who they are over and over again.
But they're closer to being a contender than
no question.
That 10-year drought where you were miserable every time you saw the starting lineup come out.
At least Bryce Harper's showing us that he's ready for that revenge tour.
Yeah, he got a hit last night.
Nice double.
He is the biggest hole in that line. In that entire roster. One guy.
No, Cal Raleigh doesn't have a hit.
One guy.
He had to get benched.
One guy, okay, we're going to point to Cal Raleigh. Let's do that. Let's look at. Bryce Harper's had a terrible World Baseball Classic. It's horrendous.
Playing solid first base, John.
He's had a horrendous World Baseball. And by the way, he won't be 28. He won't be around for it.
We'll see.
Because you can't.
I'm not even thinking about 28.
He is.
I'm not even thinking about March 28th.
Hope he doesn't need that not elite shirt this year.
Hey,
Let's hope he doesn't need
it.
it.
See how that plays out.
Well, playing this way, he could use it.
So if there is a word that you can describe your feelings toward Philadelphia sports right now, what word is that and why? 610-632-0975. John goes with unfulfilled. I go with stressed. And Connor goes with close. Here's the big difference between the Flyers and the Sixers. Flyers are in a addition period, whereas the Sixers are reaching a subtraction period.
Correct. Yeah, that is a big difference.
Yeah, that's a major difference.
There's a big difference. So right now, I mean, it's the Sixers. You got to really decide what's going to go on.
Yep. All right, coming up next. Now that Goedert is back, the immediate thought for a lot of people was, well, what does this mean on the A.J. Brown front? The latest reporting on A.J. Brown, and we'll update you a little bit more on what the Sixers and Flyers did this weekend. We are a month away from the playoffs, too, if we got them. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Goedert back for another year. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles and Dallas Goedert agreed to a one-year, $7 million deal yesterday to bring him back for a ninth season in Philly. With the move, the Birds avoided what would have been a $20 million dead cap hit if Goedert had signed elsewhere. They also shore up the tight end spot for another year. They still might have to address it in the draft, but an important move for them to settle things down on the offensive side of the ball. The Sixers took down the Blazers yesterday, 109-103. They've now won two straight without most of their starting line available. They play the Nuggets tomorrow night. Flyers lost in a shootout to the Blue Jackets on Saturday. They're 6 points out of a wild card spot with 16 games to play. They're off until Wednesday. Phillies have begun to cut down their spring training rosters. We're just a little over a week until opening day, and Team USA found a dramatic win over the Dominican Republic last night, 2-1 in the World Baseball Classic semifinals, despite a controversial third strike call to end the game. The USA will play the winner of Italy-Venezuela in the title game on Tuesday. Oh, and March Madness starts this week, and Penn and Nova are going dancing. University of Pennsylvania, 14 seed in the South region, Villanova, the 8 seed in the West. We'll talk to Andrew DeCecco at 8:05 on the Dallas Goedert News. Keith Jones joins us to talk Flyers at 9:05. This update's brought to you by Uber Eats. Philly, you hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Coco's Cookies and Creamery from now till March 31st. Get a buy one, get one free deal on a milkshake, all in the Uber Eats app. Order now only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See app for details. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
that bad.
At least most of the time.
Now let's listen to more Kincade and Salciunas before I change my mind. This hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
It is 6:30 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Our question today, if there is one word that describes your feeling toward Philadelphia sports right now, what would that word be? And then explain why. And you can do that by texting in.
What?
To the Davis Honda text line, Johnny. Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference at Davis Honda in Burlington. I know it was announced last week on Unfiltered on Friday.
Welcome
that
aboard,
the text line
Davis
is sponsored.
Honda.
We love it.
We appreciate you.
610-632-0975 is the number to text in to the Davis Honda text line. And, of course, you can be a part of the show. I know Middays with Marks has been doing the voice memos as well. So you can actually let your voice be heard. If you don't want to wait on hold, you could text in by using the voice text, and then we'll play it on the air for you. So even if you don't want to just put it on paper or whatever you would call it these days, and you want to actually voice it, you can send the voice memo to 610-632-0975 as well. Just make sure when you do it, say hi to Sean, because Sean's the guy that would be the one that's recording everything. Sean Rodman in the back, as always.
And he's limping today. He's a little banged up after a flag football injury.
And on the final play of the game, too.
Which gave up the winning touchdown.
Left it all on the field, though. You got to respect it.
I always sort of wonder when someone gets injured on the last play of the game and they don't cover the guy and he scores a touchdown.
Oh, my hammy hurts? I'd pull that move once.
Yeah, I sort of wonder about that. But Sean seems like, look, I've always known him to be a guy of great integrity, so I'm hoping it's not that.
I still remember when Russell Westbrook pulled that move in a playoff game against the Sixers. And somebody beat him to something, and he was hobbling. And then all of a sudden, the next possession, he magically was fine.
There we go.
And I was like,
interesting.
Wait a minute. You were hurt when you got beat off the dribble, but the very next possession, you look totally fine. That's interesting. So pros do it, too. So if Sean Rodman all of a sudden faked this injury, just know that, professional players do it as well. All right, Dallas Goedert back $7 million. Amazing that they got him for so cheap. As you brought up so wisely, John, a pay cut. And no, not a team-friendly deal.
No.
The market wasn't there for him again.
And people are like, this is Dallas Goedert. He so much wanted to stay with the Eagles that he was willing to do this. The market wasn't there again. Second year in a row, and I for one, can't figure it out. Great teammate, willing to block, a weapon in the red zone that a guy finally unleashed him in Kevin Patullo this year. Jalen Hurts' a security blanket, a guy who is, Jalen doesn't have many security blankets in a passing game. I don't understand why he wouldn't have been more attractive to somebody else on a multi-year deal. But for the second consecutive year on the open market, he was not able to find a multi-year deal.
I would imagine.
I can't figure it out. It's the injuries.
It has to be.
It is. But to me, he's a guy who battles his backside off to get back on the field as quickly as possible when he's had the injury issues.
By the way, Cade Otton, who got 3 for 30, he's missed time the last couple of years. Not many games. It's not like he's missed a stretch. He missed 3 games 2 seasons ago and missed a game last season. And then David Njoku, who's the other guy that's on the market, still has not gotten a contract yet. I imagine he gets right around where Dallas Goedert got. He's missed a lot of time the last 2 years. So even though it might be the injury thing, for $7 million?
Yeah, what is the league not seeing? Are they just stat watching too much? Because he doesn't have like the compilation stats over the course of his career. Obviously, this past year was a huge jump in touchdowns, but watching the guy, he looks like a quality tight end in the NFL.
Well, he is. I mean, Connor, your eyes work. I mean, he is a quality tight end. He is a quality tight end. I really don't get it. I'm thrilled that he's here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I sort of feel bummed for him a little bit that the league doesn't respect him the way that I feel he should be respected. Yeah. The way we all feel he should be respected.
He got $5 million less, and I understand this guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he got $5 million less than Travis Kelce for his potential last deal. Right, the Chiefs gave Travis. He wasn't going anywhere else.
Oh, he's got a wedding he's got to pay for. They had to pay him.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I bet she's paying.
Yeah, I guess. So.
By the way, it's the bride's family that pays for it.
Oh, please.
But
I think it's just
Travis
the bride.
Kelce got $5 million more than Dallas Goedert, and Travis Kelce's on the decline in his career. And oh, by the way, this is probably his last one, so it was almost like a thank you. Here's $12 million. which is amazing. But, hey,
Look,
it worked out for the Eagles.
Hey, Dallas, we're thrilled you're back.
Yes.
And I think overwhelmingly, it's amazing when any move happens in Philly sports and there's an overwhelming, wow, that's awesome. Dallas Goedert's beloved in this town.
Yes.
Every bit as much as Zach Ertz is always going to be loved in this town for what he did. Dallas Goedert's beloved in this town, and for good reason.
And, by the way, we didn't have to have anybody say, wow, holy overpay, right? Like,
No,
they
he
got
took
on
a pay cut.
Discount. It's unbelievable.
I don't understand it.
So, of course, what does that mean about A.J. Brown? There was a lot of reports over the weekend because, remember, they pushed the date again. In case people weren't following along the whole Dallas Goedert $20.5 million dead cap ticker,
Yes.
it got pushed again to Sunday. So we were getting off the air Friday morning at 10 o'clock thinking, all right, at some point today, there's going to be news about Dallas Goedert, not realizing that the news would be they're just going to push the deadline again. I don't know how that works. That's, maybe one day somebody from the NFL can explain how that works. It was mutually agreed upon.
Well, no, you can if you and the Fanatic had a deal and you said my contract's supposed to be up, but we both agree that I'm going to work an extra month and we're going to push it back an extra month, you can do that. So the NFL will allow you to do that.
But that can circumvent free agency?
Yeah, I know.
weird
That's the thing.
Yeah, because the player is not getting – they're not getting what they want. They don't want to be – Dallas Goedert didn't want to have him be gone yet.
Right.
He didn't want it to be gone yet.
I guess.
Because he wasn't finding it.
No, he wasn't getting that.
Which is crazy
that
to me.
So,
it was crazy.
So Dallas Goedert, it gets pushed, and a lot of the reporters around the National Football League, here's your obligatory A.J. Brown moment, we're talking about how they were waiting to see what happens with A.J. Brown before they make the decision on Dallas Goedert, considering the dead cap hit that if a trade happened pre-June 1st, the Eagles would not have as much money readily available.
Correct.
$7 million. I think they could have done it either way for just $7 million. So there was a lot of talk about that. And the latest thing on A.J. Brown from Diana Rossini, the Rams aren't going away, which I find fascinating that if the Eagles even considered it, there's no way that's true.
Okay, can Johnny be a reporter here?
Go for it.
Johnny's going to be a journalist here.
I love Johnny journalists.
I got some close ties to the Rams. I got a rolling eyes emoji.
Yeah.
I got a rolling eyes emoji checking in on the A.J. Brown story. Anybody could do their research on my ties to the Rams. And I got a rolling eyes emoji when asked, wow, how close was this? Could this be happening? Is this like and I got the rolling eyes.
Yeah, I feel like it was a text sent like, hey, the Rams are in it too, just to maybe put some heat under the fire of the Patriots.
I don't think Howie thought it would happen, and I don't think look, here's one thing I know. I can tell you this about Les Snead. Les Snead is making every phone call to every guy,
sure,
just like Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman and Les Snead are cut from the same cloth, though they're different dudes. They are completely different guys. Les Snead is a former Auburn football player, Southern, slow, like he's got that Southern sort of, drawl to him, and he's laid back, and he has it, but he is sly as a fox, just as Howie is a chess master.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, I believe there was nothing to this as far as any real discussion of this.
Yeah, you're not trading him to the Rams, who are one of your top contenders in the NFC, unless there is something wrong with A.J. Brown's knee or something, and you're trying to be like...
And I don't believe that...
there's no way he's going to the Rams.
Do I believe the Rams called? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Do I believe Howie took the call? Yes. Do I believe that Howie was going to move him to the Rams? No. Do I believe the Rams thought they were going to get him? No.
Yeah, the Rams probably like, fourth-round pick. We'll take him.
I how about this? I got no words from my well-placed source other than a rolling eyes emoji.
Yeah, I didn't buy it when I saw that over the weekend. I didn't buy it for a second. But the Patriots, obviously, the team that keeps on popping up. But now it looks like, as a lot of reporters said, this is going to be put on hold until June 1st.
Yes.
So here's your A.J. Brown timeline, all right, because I know we're all tired of it. You'll hear rumors around the draft, right? Could he be a draft day trade? Do the Eagles see something that they desperately want in the draft, and they may not have the capital for it, so they make a trade and they eat the dead cap hit, but at least they have the draft capital for the 2026 NFL draft? Or it's post-draft, and then we just don't talk about it until post-June 1. Because then if you're not going to do a trade for this draft, there is quite literally no reason for you to make a trade after the final day of the NFL draft between that date and May 31st. There's no point.
Here's the good news for us. June 1st is a Monday.
Content, guys.
It's the Monday after like Memorial Day week, so it's the next Monday. That's the good news. It's a Monday morning. We will be on that watch of June 1st, but that is what I would tell you is don't put too much into the A.J. Brown Rams.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I don't think anybody was, but Diana Rossini was. Let's just put it that way.
Somebody told her something.
Yeah, exactly.
Sixers win yesterday. They've won 3 out of their last 4, and they're doing it with a bunch of guys. So credit to them. Look, I mean, the Sixers deservedly so get a lot of heat because of decisions made. But Quentin Grimes, a guy that I was really hard on like last week, he drops 31 yesterday for the Sixers. Justin Edwards, a guy that they needed so bad last year and then like don't play him anymore. Stop me if you've ever heard that before. He had a nice night last night for the Sixers, 21 points. VJ had a nice night as well. So the Sixers get the win. They climb back to the 8th seed, Johnny. They're still a playing team as of right now, and that's how it's going to end.
Well, look at it this way, though. Now, look, play-in tournament looks really likely.
Yeah, you're a game and a half back of the Raptors, who are 6th.
Looks likely. So play-in tournament looks likely. You got to be 7 or 8 then to guarantee you get a home game.
Yeah.
7, you can guarantee you would get 2 shots at home.
Right.
To advance. So that's what you're hoping for. 7 would be if you have to play in the tournament. If you have to play in the play-in tournament, you want the 7. 6-7 is
it's still there.
Very important.
Well, and now you just wait for Joel Embiid to come back whenever that is.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll get to that.
Nick Nurse hopes soon, like 3 to 4 days.
Nick Nurse has that just on a business card that he just pulls out and hands
exactly.
to people. Just hands to people.
So that
poor Nick Nurse with that. There's a lot of things that I don't say poor Nick Nurse about, but that I will say poor Nick.
The Joel Embiid saga, you could say poor every coach that's coached him. Because it's been
over
the same
and over
story
again.
every single year. All right, coming up next, the Davis Honda text line. We check it, 610-632-0975. One word that describes your feelings toward Philadelphia sports right now, and then explain it, of course. And also, it's been way too long, Johnny. Way too long. But finally, the Big Five is representing. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Hey, the field is set. The college basketball tournament is beginning this week. So, think of it this way. With Michigan State, Penn, and Villanova in the mix. St. John's, Lehigh, all in the field. Get some skin in the game. Bet all the action this week. Penn and Villanova fans, you're going to want to be on the BetParks app. Tuesday and Wednesday are the first 4 play-in games. And then Thursday and Friday, games begin at noon and happen all day into the late night. Make a futures bet today on who you think's going to win it all. Top 4 teams favored are Duke, Michigan, Arizona, and last year's champion, Florida. So, potential payouts. You put $25 down today on the BetParks app. 25 on Duke pays $68.75. 25 on Michigan pays $87.50. 25 on Arizona pays $100. 25 on Florida plays $162.50. Make your downtime fun time. The BetParks Sportsbook, an online casino app. There's always another way to win. Get in on all the action. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan. The big tournaments this week. Don't miss it. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Got something to say about Phillies sports?
Marks. You guessed it with me, John Marks. That's coming up at 10 o'clock. Let's get back to more of Kincade Salciunas right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, so we told you about the Davis Honda text line. We will check that here in a second. But not only is Davis Honda sponsoring the text line, we, of course, have our great friends at Dr. Avidan Appel, Iron Mountain Men's Health, with our daily Twitter poll. You know that the polls go strong on Unfiltered for 4 hours. They have been for quite some time, and we wanted to get in on that action. We wanted strong polls as well, so that's why we called Dr. Avidan Appel and the team of Iron Mountain Men's Health.
I didn't want theirs, but I do. I am impressed.
What do we have this morning, Connor?
Listen, people are talking about the morning show poll game because we've been on a heater of good polls as far as tight responses, and we got another one today. So the question, are you more or less confident about A.J. Brown remaining an Eagle after the Dallas Goedert re-signing? 56% are saying more confident. 44% are saying less confident.
Wow.
What would make somebody more or less, though?
Yeah, like, because I honestly don't even know what the right answer is. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, I don't think A.J. Brown saw the report that Dallas Goedert was re-signing and said, all right, I need to be an Eagle.
Well, I don't think A.J. Brown's behavior in any way is dictated by Dallas Goedert.
Right. So I don't know. Like, if anything, you would say, all right, they have
this is about the Eagles.
More money?
Like, to me, this is about the Eagles.
Yeah, it's the cap situation in the Eagles.
And now it makes it, to me, on paper, it makes it much more likely that they would move him because now you can move him before June 1st. Hey, you have more flexibility to be able to soak that up this year.
Right.
That you can handle it.
Now, the competing school of thought on that would be the same input, but a different output in that, okay, you're not taking the dead cap hit with Dallas Goedert, which if you had done that, you could just say, okay, well, maybe then we move AJ. We wear it this year. We build for the 27 draft because you have Lane and Landon for one more year, and you just go all in on that. So a punting on a year by taking that cap hit with Dallas Goedert might have been the look.
But you know that Howie would never want to punt.
No, I know.
He never wants to.
He's not willing to do it, and part of me greatly admires that.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I don't know that it's the smartest thing.
He doesn't believe in the word rebuild. He'll retool. We've seen it numerous times, but he doesn't believe in
he says
rebuild.
You can't do it here.
He literally, dude, when he said that, I actually loved it. He's like, this is a town where you can't go to rebuild when it comes to football. He's talking about his job because, you know, we've seen rebuilds in some of the other teams, and people were okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, and a rebuild is necessary in some sports. And in this situation, I admire Howie for that mindset, but hopefully we don't come to the time when he actually has to.
Yeah,
rebuild.
Hopefully they never get there. You know, keep on pushing the dead cap hits till we're all dead. What do we got on the text line, the Davis Honda text line this morning, Connor?
We have people checking in on the one-word conversation to describe Philadelphia sports. Mike from Virginia says, perspective. I'm 44, so for the first half of my life, Philly sports were a joke, no hope of contention. The second half now, we're either in direct contention or in the conversation. I get as angry as anyone year to year, team to team, but that's only because we've always got a shot. If we didn't, who'd care? I'll take it.
Yeah, John and I talk about this a lot. We have it good right now. Like, we can complain with the best of them, right?
And we will.
And no, I don't want to say perspective like, hey, at least the Eagles won the division. Imagine being a Jets fan. Like, no, because I'm not a Jets fan, and I will never imagine being a Jets fan. But if we're talking about perspective, yeah, sure. The Phillies coming up small in the playoffs every single year makes me beat my head into the ground. However, I also watch them not make the playoffs for 10 straight years.
Well, the one thing is I always love it when people do the history lesson thing of what it could be. Look, I understand. I lived through the crap of the first half of my life with Philly sports, and the second half has been amazing. But I don't care comparing it to what it used to be. I don't expect it to be poopy anymore.
Right.
I expect it to be good. So I don't want to talk about, well, in the old days it sucked. I don't care. Now you've seen it can be better. Let's go.
Put your feet into today.
Yes, exactly.
That's what your magnet says,
exactly.
man.
There you go.
All right, Big Five finally representing. It has been 3 years. You guys know that? It has been 3 years since a Big Five team made it to the NCAA tournament. 3 years.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
it was 3 years?
Nova was kind of the team that was the one that was always in it, and then when Jay Wright leaves, they haven't made it since Jay left.
Well, and Penn's been in a lull.
Yeah.
And Temple has been disappointing us big time.
Absolutely. And St. Joe's hasn't done it. LaSalle hasn't done it. So congratulations to Villanova and Penn. So it took 3 years, but at least we have 2 teams in it this year. The Wildcats, an 8th seed, they're playing Utah State in round 1. Winnable matchup for the Cats. They had a bad loss in their conference championship game, which is why they fell to the 8th. They would have been higher. They've played well consistently all season long. And then Penn, they make it. The incredible ending in their conference championship to get to the NCAA tournament, the automatic bid. They finish as a 14 seed. They'll be playing Illinois in their first round. And we talked about it a little bit last week, even though this has nothing to do with Philadelphia. Miami of Ohio did make it, but as one of the play-in 11 seeds, which is crazy. That's crazy.
I think it's a joke.
I think the committee's doing it on purpose.
I think they should be a absolutely in the tournament team.
They lost 1 game all year.
It's a disgrace.
And they're making them have to play in for the 11th
It's
seed.
a disgrace. They should not. They should absolutely have a spot in the tournament, not a spot where you play into the tournament.
It's almost like the committee wanted to say, we're going to wash our hands as much as we can. We can't keep them out, but we're going to make them earn it in.
Yeah,
so we can say,
that's exactly what they're doing. Dude, I think that's exactly what they're doing.
It is Lent. They're doing the King Herod thing. That's what they're doing.
All right, coming up next, we'll reset today's topics. We'll check more of our Davis Honda text line. But also, I question the wording of something that you sent in an email, Johnny.
Okay.
I'm sure you're not alone.
And I wasn't drinking yesterday, so I don't know what it could be.
I was. We'll also tell you how you can win a spot in Knockout in the next segment as well. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Monday morning. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. We'll talk to you again in the 7 o'clock hour here on The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A 1-year deal for Goedert. I'm Connor Thomas. The Eagles and Dallas Goedert agreed to a 1-year, $7 million contract yesterday, bringing him back for a 9th season here in Philadelphia. With the move, the Birds avoided what would have been a $20.5 million dead cap hit if Goedert had signed elsewhere and gotten to free agency. They also make sure that they shore up the tight end spot with the move, if only for another year. Still work to do, but it seems like the roster's starting to settle down as we get deeper into free agency. Sixers beat the Blazers 109-103 yesterday. They've now won 2 straight without most of their starting lineup. They play the Nuggets tomorrow night. Flyers lost in a shootout to the Blue Jackets on Saturday. 6 points out of a wild card spot with 16 to play. They're off till Wednesday. Phillies have begun to cut down on their spring training roster and sending some guys to minor league camps. We're just a little over a week until opening day. And Team USA found a dramatic win over the Dominican Republic last night, 2-1 in the World Baseball Classic semifinals with a controversial strike call to end the game. The USA will take on the winner of Italy-Venezuela in the title game on Tuesday. Penn and Nova, they're going dancing for March Madness. Penn will be a 14 seed in the South region. Nova an 8 seed out in the West. We'll talk to Andrew DeCecco at 8:05 on Dallas Goedert. Keith Jones talks Flyers with us at 9:05. This update is brought to you by our friends over at Odoo.com. Odoo is like running a business is hard enough, man. Odoo makes it easier with one simple all-in-one platform. Start today at Odoo.com. That's ODOO.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
morning here on 97.5 The Fanatic. After weather was all right yesterday. Saturday was a little chilly. It was kind of nice. I was down in Virginia Saturday.
You were?
Yes.
Why?
We took.
You went all the way to Virginia.
I hope my wife's not listening. We saw friends of hers.
Okay.
It was nice. It was a nice day, but we went to the Air and Space Museum, not the one in D.C.
So you didn't go to that because I think we may hit that on Saturday.
We've gone there. It's a really cool spot.
It's
Check
so
it out.
awesome.
But we went to the one in Virginia. It's like their second. They Smithsonian 2.0. And remember the guy that jumped out of orbit?
What?
Like the Red Bull
the
thing?
Red Bull dude.
Oh, okay.
They had the container that got him up there.
Really?
I was staring at it like, oh my God, like that's one of the coolest things. I'm a nerd for that kind of stuff.
Wouldn't have the guts, man.
No, dude, I'm afraid to climb up
we're going
three
down,
flights of steps.
We're going down on a bus trip Saturday just for the day.
That's nice.
To D.C. for the day. And so we haven't decided which Smithsonian we might hit. So we don't want to walk around. Day's going to be beautiful. 59 and sunny.
Yeah, dude, we need this.
That's perfect.
We need this.
Down in D.C.
Those 3 70-degree days have now completely impacted me because I'm now miserable every day. It's not 70.
It'll be nice.
All right. What is one word that will describe your feeling toward Philadelphia sports right now and explain why? John went with unfulfilled.
Which, by the way, is now going to be 6 o'clock after Unfiltered.
Yes, that's the...
If this wins today.
Yes. You're unfulfilled. I'm stressed. Connor goes with close, but close almost teetering close, like close toward contender, close toward, we're about to enter some dark times. And I would imagine if you were to rank your contender close, you'd go what? Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, Sixers? Or would you go Sixers, Flyers?
I'd probably go Sixers, Flyers. Only because if in the Twilight Zone universe where you do get a couple of guys healthy, they're the more talented team. Like I can't squint at the Flyers and see them winning anything right now.
I don't think the Flyers are making the playoffs. I would love to see the Flyers making the playoffs. I still think that's going into this year, I thought it was a pipe dream that they would make the playoffs. So I didn't think that was. Now next year, it will be an absolute expectation that they make the playoffs.
You ever
it's not going to be a let's hope they make it.
You ever seen like the pictures of the long ass road in the desert that looks like it goes on forever?
Oh yeah,
but it's like dead straight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's the Flyers. They may be further away, but their path is straighter. The Sixers could be closer, but the road is very winding and has a lot of
It's amazing. The
potholes.
Sixers are closer to being a contender and also closer to being a rebuilder.
The Flyers have a better plan, and the Flyers have a better vision for the next 4 years.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Paul George and Joel Embiid, if you're looking 4 years out, like the Flyers have a better vision down the line. Short term, I can't count on the Sixers catching like lightning in a bottle in the spring because,
basket doesn't really work.
It was
that way in
2001.
basketball. Yeah,
we're talking about 2001.
It's been a long time. I'm curious. So you will find out how you can win your pair of Sixers tickets to the game on the 25th and the spot in Knockout because we have the Knockout event March 25th after the Sixers game against the Bulls, which is the return of Paul George. What's that ovation? Does he get one?
No.
Does he get a? I'm not. No. I mean any sort of reaction. Does he get booed or is it like
booed? No.
It's not Jose Alvarado getting a standing ovation, which I thought was ridiculous. No. But it's not Jose Alvarado because he's not lovable like Jose Alvarado. He hasn't had any sort of impact in this city for you to even really give much of a reaction at all. But,
booed, no. Apathy, yes. Apathetic.
So it's kind of just like, all right, like PG's back.
He's wearing our laundry. That's the way I look at it. How about this? He's borrowing our laundry. Because I don't think he's ever committed to being.
No, he is not.
He's not bought in.
Yeah, I wonder, we'll be there.
We control the outcome. We're going to have everybody for knockout.
We're going to make noise.
We'll
make some noise.
Are you going to try to start some trend where we should give a standing ovation for a player that's struggling?
No.
Now, who would do that?
I'm focused on white-soled shoes this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Please, can we at least follow? Can everybody follow directions this year that is in Knockout?
All right.
Please.
We're obviously also reacting to Dallas Goedert signing his $7 million deal. Man, did the Eagles benefit from that? Like so much so, where other guys were getting 10+ a year at that tight end position, Dallas Goedert somehow has no market. Maybe we value Dallas Goedert more than like literally anybody else in the world. Apparently,
we do.
but I think for good reason.
How we look at Dallas Goedert is not how other people look at Dallas Goedert.
I don't know what I'm missing, though, other than the injury history.
I swear to you, I don't either. But it's obvious. He took a pay cut to come back.
Daniel Bellinger got 3 for $24. $8 million. That's more than Dallas Goedert.
Bellinger's younger.
Yeah, but he's a guy. He's 25 years old. I get it.
He's younger with no injury history.
Sure.
But I mean, it's Dallas Goedert, the way we talk about him, the way we look at him. We look at Dallas Goedert as a borderline star talent. The NFL looks at him as a guy who 2 years in a row has not been able to get a multi-year contract offer from anyone.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think it's a crime, but it's one that benefits us. And Dallas has enough money. He's got enough money to.
Yeah, he's fine.
No crying for Dallas Goedert. He's going to be just fine. But and I'm glad because I get to watch him for another year, and it's beautiful to get to watch him for another.
Now you sent an email off of it, which I'm curious by the wording of it, and so you can continue to text into the Davis Honda text line 610-632-0975. Give a word that explains your feelings toward Philadelphia sports right now, and explain why. We'll check the text line in a few minutes here, and then we'll also tell you how you can get the spot in Knockout. But here's the text or the email from John Kincade.
Right
when it comes to the Dallas Goedert signing. Do you believe this is good news on the A.J. Brown front? Is the Goedert news more or less likely that A.J. returns? And you mentioned that this is the most annoying story of Philly right now because it is. Because
the A.J. Brown story is the most annoying because people just refuse to believe that this is a real story.
But why do you ask if it's good news?
Because because I think some people, is it good news on the A.J. Brown front? Is why I'm asking, is it good news? I'm asking not, is it good news for Dallas Goedert? We're all in agreement, 100% across the board. It's good news on the Dallas Goedert front.
Yes.
We're all thrilled with that. But is it good news on the A.J. Brown front?
Good news like him returning or good news?
Does this mean when you saw that news of Dallas Goedert returning, did you say to yourself, man, I'm more confident now that A.J.'s coming back?
I said completely unrelated.
I think it's completely unrelated also.
Okay.
But I looked at it as now it's more likely they can move him because they have more flexibility to do so salary cap wise. But if AJ returns, they on paper they're a better team, you would believe, than if they got a rookie wide receiver in there to step in and try to do the things that A.J. Brown has done. You think they're better. But if A.J. comes with the baggage that he came with last year, then it's not necessarily true. I don't know what to think as far as this story is. I do believe it's completely unrelated, though. I believe they are in silos. These are complete silos.
That's how I looked at it. I think the A.J. Brown story, other than the random reports that we will react to whenever they pop up, right? Whenever a Rossini tweet comes out or one of the local beats tweets something out, every time we've had him Schefter on, we'll ask him the question every single week. We do that. We've done that. Forget A.J. Brown. We did that last year with Trey Hendrickson and Myles Garrett. We're going to do it next year with the new tune of the month, right? Like that's going to happen with Adam Schefter. We're going to ask for updates. But I think this story is on ice for the next 5 weeks. April 23rd is day one of the NFL draft. I think we don't hear much until then. And again, we said it earlier, if a trade doesn't happen on draft day, then there's no conversation until June 1st.
Okay, you do understand, though, that it is more likely that the move of Goedert makes it more likely they move. Like, it makes it more likely because they have the opportunity to move him. Like, it's now Howie has the flexibility to be able to do it. So that's what's weird is that, to me, this means that now Howie has the ability to do so and can do so without having to worry about it.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong here, because to me, the much bigger indicator of whether or not this gets done is simply other teams meeting the price. Like, I don't think the Eagles are going to come down off of the first and for A.J. Brown.
They are not. Yeah. I think that, Connor, I think they made it clear.
Yeah, so, like, whether he's comfortable with taking the cap hit or not, I don't think a team's about the price yet, clearly, because the move hasn't been made, and I don't know that one will. So as much as it's like, oh, we can now because we don't have that Dallas Goedert cap hit, I think, like, by a wide margin, the number one key is just, does somebody want him that bad?
By the way, it really feels like one team. Like it's the Patriots, right? Like it feels like one team. I know maybe there's a dark horse team that could swoop in, but it really feels like the Patriots are bidding against themselves right now, right? They feel like the Phillies with JT Realmuto.
No, to me, I think that it's the Patriots are not bidding against themselves. The fact that Howie can't get a deal done on this is the Patriots aren't bidding against themselves. The Patriots are saying, we good. There's no other teams at the table, so we're good. We'll wait you out. We'll wait you out on this. We're not gonna overpay just because we're the last team at the front here. We're good. We'll wait this thing out and see what happens. See how long it takes.
Well, hopefully there's a kumbaya moment and everybody's happy in Philadelphia because that's what I want.
Hopefully
ultimately.
Sean Mannion can maybe sit down with AJ and they can get to warm and fuzzy and maybe things will work out.
That would be nice.
Everybody's happy at Philadelphia. Do you hear yourself?
Wouldn't it be great?
I don't think that's ever happened.
I mean, everybody could be happy with one team.
Okay.
All right? Like,
That's fair.
Right.
I will take the Sixers not being happy if it means A.J. Brown's back. Is that a good deal? Is that a good trade?
Well, the Sixers are pissed.
In terms
the
of
Sixers
happiness?
are pissed at you then, but it's
All right. What do we got on the text line? 610-632-0975. We'll tell you how you can win a spot in Knockout here in a couple minutes.
All right, so we have a check-in here from David Mount Laurel on the Davis Honda text line. Says the word, meh. Why? We are basically purgatory. Phillies are flat to down this year. Birds fell flat. Sixers remain snake-bitten and voodoo cursed. And the Flyers still have building to do.
Yeah, but I'm excited. Ignore everything I say about the Phillies for a second, or I have said. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's 10 days from opening day. Like, I can't wait.
Well, we're excited to see it. We're excited to see what it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, what it can be.
Like well, I know what it can be. I know that they're a playoff team, right? Like let's start there. I know that they're a playoff team.
On paper, they should be.
Yeah, as long as there's not catastrophic injuries.
Correct.
Like but I know that they are talent-wise a playoff team. So I'm excited for another Red October. Hopefully it lasts more than a week this time around. When it comes to the Eagles, as stressed as I may be about this draft is more so the future. It's not necessarily the impact of 2026, because if I'm trying to draft the replacement of Lane Johnson, he's not going to play this year. If I'm talking about drafting the replacement of Landon Dickerson, he's not going to play this year. The draft is the importance of 27, 28, 29 moving forward. But 2026 is still a talented roster. I still expect them to be also in the playoffs.
Yes. But
so, man, I know it fizzled out.
That's too negative for me.
I'm excited for half of the teams in the city. I'm excited about. And then it's let's see what happens with the other two.
Right.
As miserable as I am right now with the Sixers, considering the injury story, which is the same old, I'm still excited to see what happens. Get to the playoffs, see what happens.
I'm excited. I enjoy watching the Flyers every night, except that power play.
Yes.
I enjoy watching that, except when I watch the power play, I go, I've seen better power plays in local high school hockey leagues.
They got a point, though, Johnny.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Whoop-de-freaking-do.
They got the all-important point.
Yeah, it just drove me crazy.
What else we got on the text line?
David checks in and says his word is closing, as in the window is closing. Eagles, too many holes, and the division is only getting better. Phillies, you already know. Sixers, injury is an age, and the Flyers are stuck in purgatory.
All right, okay, the Eagles won. Closing. And man, you can't bank on it. Let me make that clear. You can't bank on it.
Okay.
But if they have another Quinyon Cooper draft, you tell me that the window closed?
Well.
All right, give me one. Like, you have one guy that's a staple of the franchise. You draft Lane Johnson's replacement, and it works out, right? Maybe not screaming Hall of Fame right tackle, but you draft a right tackle that you know is a cog moving forward. Is the window closing? This A.J. Brown thing, I think it's making everybody funny right now, and I get it why. But if you do get a 1 and a 4 for him, that's draft capital, which hopefully keeps your window open. Like, I can't say the Eagles' window is closing.
No, the Eagles' window is not closing, but a really bad draft.
Yeah, is the structure
a really bad draft? Look,
sure.
if the Eagles' offensive line does not get restocked this offseason, then I'm going to see the cracks in the foundation that are going to be a major problem, and Groundworks or whoever is not going to be able to fix it.
Hell yeah. Well, Groundworks can fix everything.
That's going to be a hard work even for Groundworks.
Yeah, people are getting sketched out with there's a lot of changes on offense already with basically the entire coaching staff shifting around, and the mentality could be shifting, and the focus on having to draft for the future on offense is shifting. But think back. You don't have to think that far back to Eagles teams that had to change more and did it incredibly successfully in a very short period of time. They've had tougher tasks. I know it's a little bit of shifting
2017 was a totally different roster.
Yeah, dude.
Like from
incredible.
2016. Like it was a totally different roster. You don't need that. You need to add to this roster right now. Now, my word today is stress. Where's your stress level? Which team has the most stress for you right now?
Phillies.
Oof.
Phillies by far. Because I didn't get fooled by the Sixers like you guys. I'm not fooled by the Sixers. I know exactly who the Flyers are. I'm not fooled by the Sixers. The Eagles are always going to have, there's always going to be that trust factor.
Yeah, even if they have a bad draft, you can see them trading for players.
The Phillies, it's the constant just aggravation with we got a good club. We got a good club. You know, a bounce here or there, we beat the Dodgers, and then look what happens.
Yeah, you know what? I'm
It drives
stressed
me
out
crazy.
because Dave Dombrowski isn't.
Because he isn't. Because they have this nonchalance about you should be happy with what you got.
I think my wife and I have had this conversation before where my wife has said, your lack of stress is stressing me out because I feel like you're missing something or I'm missing something. And right now, unfortunately, this isn't like a spousal thing where like she and I can sit down and talk and we can come to decisions together. Dave Dombrowski has all the power, and I have to sit here and realize that he actually thinks they're close because they are, but he's living and dying by it.
Christina will say to me is you take things way too lightly. You don't take things seriously enough, and I'll go, you take things way too seriously.
I'm a happy man.
You take things way too seriously. It's that yin and yang where you go, come on, Ann. Come on, Ann.
Connor, what would your team be? The team
It's
that
the Eagles.
stresses you out the most, the Eagles.
Yeah, it's the Eagles easily. I'm not stressed
And
by
they
the Phillies.
deliver the most for you.
Yeah, well, because those are the two teams that are in true contention, right? I think we all know where the Sixers and Flyers are right now. And the Phillies, I know what they're going to be, right? There's a baseline level if they haven't changed anything. There's bad in that where you can't get over the hump, a lot of people think. But the good in that is I know what this baseball team's going to be. I've seen it before. The Eagles are changing a lot this offseason. This offense might not work. And if that doesn't work, where does that leave you with guys that's contracts come up?
You have a new head coach. You have maybe a new quarterback.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's a fair point.
So they're the most stressful to me because they're in the championship contention window and they're changing the most.
I think I'm just assuming that it is going to work.
Yeah,
Because they're
fair.
because they're the Eagles.
Because they're the Eagles.
Exactly.
Like, I just assume that it is
You
going to
feel
work.
more of like the Eagles are going to get the benefit of the
And
doubt.
Kevin Patullo's not here anymore.
Yeah, that's always nice.
And, like, I'm excited about Sean Mannion. Am I saying that I know anything about him? No. But, like, we the second Patullo got hired, we're like, let's see what happens. Whereas
Right.
Sean Mannion, it's, let's see what happens. Like, the
Yes.
tone, you could say the exact same words about Patullo and Mannion, but the tone is completely different.
Correct.
Well, Hurts said it. You saw the comments from Jalen Hurts where he said, he's
This would be a big
amazing,
job.
I think is the word he used. We're going to talk to Zach Berman on Wednesday
Yeah,
about
he said
that.
Sean Mannion is amazing, and when it was Kevin Patullo, it was, it's a new role for him. Two
Right.
totally different
Little different.
reactions. Yeah. All right, here's how you can win a spot and knockout today. So yesterday, I watched 0 seconds of it, the Oscars.
Yeah, I avoided it like the plague.
I didn't avoid it. It's World Baseball Classic.
No, I avoided. Well, you could have watched the Oscars long before the game started. I avoided it like the plague.
I don't watch movies that much anymore. Like, I'm a TV show. I've become a TV show guy. Like, I just have. And so, like, the movie Best Picture, it just doesn't really do it for me anymore. I never really was an Oscars guy, but I digress. What we're going to do today is I have a list of the highest grossing film by year. And so what I will do is give you the year, and I'll give you a little clue of the movie, and then the people that are listening will text in what they believe is the right answer. So as the example today, I'm going to give you a 50-50 coin flip answer for you both.
Okay, so it's the grossing is it? Are we talking like United States?
Box office.
United States? Are we talking
worldwide,
worldwide?
I guess, box office.
Because, I mean, is it a United States? Is it worldwide? Because some of these movies get big worldwide. I don't know. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering.
Great question.
Okay.
I mean, this goes back to like 1915, so I don't know if they were.
Gosh.
I
Okay.
don't know if they were tracking
okay.
the.
Okay, I got you.
All right, U.S. box office.
Oh, U.S. box
all right,
office.
just to confirm.
Okay.
Because I don't know if they were tracking what people in Asia were watching in 1915.
Okay, good.
All right, 2023.
2023.
This was the highest grossing film. Your clue is one of the Barbenheimer 50-50 split. Do you believe it was Barbie or Oppenheimer that was the higher grossing film in 2023?
I'll go Oppenheimer.
I'm going Barbie.
Barbie is the correct answer, and it should be because Barbie spans generations.
Because Barbie spans stupidity.
You're also not bringing an 8-year-old to Oppenheimer.
Right, you see,
hey, kiddo.
Why not?
You see, that's the thing. Exactly. Oppenheimer, I got to tell you, I'm glad I saw Oppenheimer. I'm glad I saw it. But it was long.
I thought it was fantastic.
Like, that was long for me. That was a long movie.
Yeah, but it was a great movie, man.
Oh, no, it was a great movie. That was a fine acting performance.
It was fantastic.
But it was long.
All right. Well, Barbie's the correct answer.
Yeah, because just the appeal.
Yeah.
The appeal across the board.
You can bring a kid to Barbie. You can bring a kid to Oppenheimer.
You can bring a horse to water. Come on now.
All right, so we'll do those questions throughout the course of the show. I'll give you the first one coming up next. Also, the word we used this morning, or one of the words, was stressed, Johnny. I will soon feel annoyed like you.
Uh-oh.
If the Phillies actually do what they are talking about doing. If they do this, oh my God, we should riot. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
I know Dan White and Associates have been in business for almost 4 decades, and when you specialize in financial planning and retirement planning, that means you're doing something right, because when you're dealing with people's money, they're going to tell you very quickly whether you're doing a good job with it or not. And Dan White and Associates helps you create income in retirement that in turn is going to help you create lifestyle that you want to live, that you can find some certainty in your financial future. Because finances in retirement, man, that can be an overwhelming topic. And the experts at Dan White and Associates are going to help you make sense of your unique situation. Now, they have these educational seminars. They're these dinners that they host in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. You can go to one of them, have a great meal, and be a passive listener and see what Dan White and Associates can do for you. Or you can just have your complimentary no-risk consultation at one of their offices in Glen Mills, Middletown, or Lewiston, Delaware. And you can go and just discuss your own personal situation with them. I promise you're going to get personal attention, and you're going to get a personalized plan that's going to help you feel confident in your plan moving forward. Visit danwhiteandassociates.com and tell them John Kincade sent you in.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Eagles take care of tight end. I'm Connor Thomas. And the Eagles and Dallas Goedert agreed to a 1-year, $7 million deal yesterday to bring him back for a 9th straight season here in Philadelphia. And with the move, the Birds avoided what would have been a $20.5 million dead cap hit if Dallas Goedert had signed elsewhere. So a lucrative deal in the cap space, and Dallas Goedert makes some money. It shores up the tight end spot, if only for another year. So the Eagles are settling things down a little bit. The Sixers took down the Blazers yesterday, 109-103. They've now won 2 straight without most of their starting lineup available. They head out to the West Coast starting tomorrow night, where they take on the Nuggets. Flyers lost in a shootout to the Blue Jackets on Saturday. They're 6 points out of a wild card spot with 16 games to play. They're off until Wednesday. Phillies have begun to cut down their spring training rosters. We're just a little over a week until opening day. And Team USA in the World Baseball Classic found a dramatic win over the Dominican Republic last night, a 2-1 final, and it ended on a controversial strike call to end the game. USA will play the winner of Italy-Venezuela in the title game on Tuesday. Penn and Nova, they're going to be playing in March Madness. Penn is a 14 seed in the South region, Nova an 8 seed in the West. We'll talk to Andrew DeCecco at 8:05 on the Dallas Goedert signing. Keith Jones joins us to talk about the Flyers at 9:05. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Having trouble sleeping? Visit Mattress Firm during the Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Their sleep experts will help find your perfect bed. They make sleep easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
What's up, guys?
app.
7 a.m. hours brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, 7:30 here on Kincade and Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic. About to give you the first question for your chance to win the pair of tickets, Sixers Bulls, March 25th. And the spot in knockout. And then after we do that, everybody in the world may be more serious than the Phillies if they decide to do this. Everybody in the world. Even the most immature person you know may be more serious of a person than the Phillies if they actually decide to do this. But here's your question. What we're going to do today, because yesterday was the Oscars, we're doing the highest grossing films, United States of America. We've confirmed by year. The year 2010.
Gosh, remember in 2010.
Your clue, the fifth movie of the franchise will be coming out this summer.
I know it.
So what was
That's
the movie?
Good clue.
2010. What movie was it? 610-632-0975. Your clue is that the fifth movie of the franchise comes out this year, and I will tell you that movie in 2010. So I was in high school, so I was too cool to cry. You know what I mean? When I watched that movie, oh, my God, dude.
If anybody has been to the movies recently, they will get this answer.
Yeah.
Texted.
Oh, well, yeah, because it's
it's being promoted
nonstop.
nonstop.
But they might not get the right number.
Exactly.
No, he just said, oh, yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
2010. All right, text it in 610-632-0975. We'll get qualifiers throughout the course of the show. All right, there's no way the Phillies are serious about Garrett Stubbs playing like anywhere other than behind the dish for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, right?
Why would you say that?
Because he played left field yesterday.
Didn't you listen to Rob Thompson?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Rob Thompson seems like he's reiterating it.
Not only outfield, they've talked infield too. The day that Garrett Stubbs is a utility player for a Major League Baseball team is the day I think baseball dies.
Can I ask you how many quad A players the Dodgers have on their roster?
0.
Seriously. That's what I'm saying is, are you serious?
They have an elite club. We have
how many quad A players do the Dodgers have on their roster? And you're going to tell me that you're going to have maybe multiple on the Phillies roster? You're not serious then. You can talk all you want about when you get your effing trophy back and everything like that. You're not serious.
There's just no way.
All right, Connor, you're Mr. Locked On Phillies podcast, and you're less emotional than Johnny and I are. Can you try? And I'm not even. We won't jump you. I need you to try to explain why Garrett Stubbs would be on the roster if it wasn't just to be the backup catcher to JT Realmuto.
So Baycare Ballpark gas leak affecting the brains of everybody making decisions is the only potential logical. No, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
Like, is it the vibes? Like, is that
well?
Like, what would the reasoning be why Garrett Stubbs makes the roster?
You got two Mopey Mopes. Bohm's going to be on the roster. So you got Mopey Mope, and then and Harper's going to be on the roster. He's there, and he could be this. He's not exactly a force of positivity.
No.
So you got those two. They're your corner infielders. Maybe they value the vibes more.
Then release him and then hire him as another bench coach. He could sit next to Don, in the dugout. Like, what would the point be? Because here's the deal. This isn't like. I'm trying to think of a good comp, but like a player that can mash, right, but can't play anywhere in the field, right? Encarnacion. What was his name? Not Juan Encarnacion. Edwin Encarnacion. Guy couldn't play anywhere in the field, right? And this is the days of of just the American League DH. So that's why he played for like 18 teams, because the guy could hit 40 home runs.
He bounced.
But it worked. Couldn't do anything else, right?
Yeah, it worked.
Like, all right, if you have a guy like that, but you don't really have a set place for him to play, you might try to figure something out. The Phillies went to the World Series in 2022 with Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos in the outfield. Think about that. Like, you can get by it if the bat is that important. There's a player in the Phillies farm system right now named Keaton Anthony, who at every level that he has played at, he's hit over 300. Single A, double A, triple A. He plays first base. He's not he's not going to be the first baseman of the Phillies because you have Bryce Harper. They recently tried throwing him out in the outfield a few times to see if he could play in the outfield. Makes sense because he's a 300 hitter. He's a guy with some pop. What does Garrett Stubbs have?
Nothing. Like, they did it with Kemp last year, which I understand because he was just hitting too well at AAA to not get a chance.
Sure, I understood that.
But, like, this makes no sense on any level.
And to me, it's the idea, too, that you're saying, what does the Phillies organization say to young players? Because the Phillies organization does not, compared to other organizations, the Phillies organization does not reward young players with opportunity the way other organizations do.
Your time will come.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
they want you to get married and have a few kids before they're ever going to give you a chance.
Yeah, they're team dad strength.
So to me, it's the idea too is that what does the message about young players in the organization? And it's funny, as Joe the Cynic just pops up on my line here saying, Stubbs on the Major League roster sends a wonderful message to young guys in the system. He says the same thing. Constantly grinding for advancement while this high school body takes up a roster spot. That's a little rough, but it's...
Yeah, but you know who he is. He's a guy that bunts and hit a big home run against the Marlins 3 years ago.
And
like that's what he does.
And again, you're going to hear from the vibes people. The vibes people who, again, with all due respect, people who have never, ever been in the clubhouse are going to tell you about what he brings to the clubhouse. And it just is, it's an overstated thing.
Daniel Miller calls him Matt Stairs Stubbs on our YouTube chat. I just don't get it. Like, why are we doing this?
Because the Phillies organization, if they're going to have Stubbs and Kemp on their final roster, if they ever did that, then you have two quad A players on your 26-man roster. Or is it 27?
26.
26. You're not serious.
By the way, what side of the plate does Stubbs bat on?
Lefty.
What's
You're not serious.
There's not even a point. Like, it's not even like, all right, he's a righty slashing hitter that can get on base for us. Like, it's another lefty.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Like what are we doing here?
So, Connor, you're confident that this is just talk up Stubbs?
It's just spring training BS. Like, I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know what behind the scenes is happening, but this is not happening for the regular season.
He's the guy that they really like, and here's the deal. He knows that he's the backup. It's probably a career move where he probably goes to Rob Thompson and the Phillies brass and says, look, I'm going to do whatever I can to be at the major league level. Because I would imagine Garrett Stubbs would rather fly on nice airplanes than take buses on AAA. He was doing the vlog last year from AAA.
Garrett Stubbs has future manager written all over.
Yeah, this is nothing against Garrett Stubbs. This is against the Phillies.
No, but he has future manager written all over.
Yeah.
Because he is a unifier of people. He's a great guy to talk to. Like, he's a good energy guy, bench coach, whatever it is. He has that written all over him.
Backup catcher, that always goes a long way.
Yes, so that's awesome. But having him on this roster as a contributing player, give me a break.
I mean, if they put him on this roster over Brian De La Cruz, like, that's insane.
What if they did it over Otto?
More insane.
Well, that John Marks will walk off the job. He'll walk off the job.
There's no world where he makes his team.
Okay,
there's just not.
I feel better having you say that, Connor, because you seem so confident about this. When I hear Rob Thompson talk, first of all, when I fight myself not to nod off, hearing him speak, I'm so inspired by him that we'll see.
Stubbs has been a good soldier. I think this is them throwing him a bone at the backside of spring training.
Okay,
but like every team knows the story. Like there's not a major league club out there that's going, wait a minute, Stubbs, the left fielder. Oh, let's trade for him. Like there's no point in this.
It's so bad.
Whatever. All right, what do we got on the Davis Honda text line? We love that Davis Honda is a part of the station
Davis Honda.
here.
We appreciate you.
Feel the Davis difference at Davis Honda in Burlington. They sponsor our text line. You can text in at 610-632-0975. What is the one word that you can use to describe your feelings toward Philadelphia sports right now? Obviously, explain why, but what is that one word?
Emily from Philly checks in, or from West Philly, I should say, and she says the word I always use, bittersweet. We love to see them win. We love most of the players. We love the spirit of being a Philly sports teams. While they're up and down, I always feel like there's positivity to go along with the negativity.
We're lucky to be Philadelphia sports fans. I'll just say, I'll continue to say it.
We're incredibly fortunate. Like, we're so fortunate.
It could be so much worse. So much worse being fans of different teams. Like, it's so much worse. We are lucky to be Philadelphia sports fans, and I know that it might sound crazy to hear, especially coming from us, because we react every single day, and there's typically more negative stuff to react to than positive. But we got it good here. The reason why we can react the way that we do is because we have it good here, because we have expectations. We have high expectations of these teams, and we hold them to high standards, and for the most part, they hold themselves to those standards.
And I love the fact that we have those high standards. And the one thing is, though, is that there's the big difference. The Eagles embrace the high standards. The Phillies do not.
No, they go, what do you mean you're complaining about our season?
Yes, the Phillies do not.
We won 96 games.
Howie Roseman totally understands it and totally embraces it.
It's why, you pointed it out. When the Eagles lost to the 49ers, his end of the season press conference, we played his clip versus Dombrowski's clip.
It was a totally different message.
Not even close.
Howie Roseman was like, not good enough, not a good job. We got to be much better. I admire what the Eagles do so much more because the Eagles answer their consumers, their fan base, their customers. So much more. We think like you. We understand what you want. So there you go.
I hear you, Johnny. All right, coming up next, we will give you another highest grossing film by year. We'll get our first qualifier. And then after that, we have today's headlines with Connor Thomas. So another chance for you to be in the running for the spot in knockout after the Sixers game, March 25th. We're getting closer. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Monday morning, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, let's check out that FanDuel Sportsbook app, okay? Because now that we have the bracket set, you can start making your bets. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, is dropping bonus bets into everyone's account for the tournament. Love that. All you got to do is opt in to claim your bonus. You can use them on your bracket picks, money lines, spreads, totals, game props, same game parlays. You can even do futures bets if you think there's a team that you believe will go to the distance. You don't even have to bet for them to win the championship. You can bet for them to reach the Final Four. Michigan's been a fun team that I've been watching all season long, and I think they actually have a pretty good draw in their side of the bracket. So I would bet Michigan to make the Final Four. But don't wait. These bonus bets are only available for a limited time. So visit FanDuel.com/local to learn more. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, it's time to dance. You got to be 21 plus, present Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is where the state we're in. Bonus issues, non-drill bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $500 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Salciunas coming your way now.
It is 7:47 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Before we get to our next highest grossing film question for your chance to win a spot in Knockout and today's headlines with Connor Thomas, is the poll still strong? I imagine that it is because Dr. Avidan Appel and Iron Mountain Men's Health, they make sure that happens.
It's very strong. Another good poll out of the morning show, guys.
Yeah, Unfiltered better start feeling it, man.
Poll game week. No, it's not. They've got help from Dr. Avidan Appel as well. But our poll today, are you more or less confident about A.J. Brown remaining an Eagle after Dallas Goedert re-signing? 54% saying more confident, 46% saying less confident. So getting closer to 50-50.
I don't know what would make you more or less confident. Like, I'm curious for the people that are voting one way or another.
We have a comment. So this tweeter says, less confident. Goddard getting a share of AJ's touches that need to be made up was likely a big selling point for him staying.
Interesting. Why didn't you say the guy's Twitter handle? Coward.
The FCC will not allow me to say certain words,
No,
and that's iffy.
That's FCC regulated. His Twitter handle was mbitch. Was the guy that tweeted at the show. Why did you say it? Coward?
That's why I passed on it.
You're allowed to say the FCC's not going to get on you for that.
You can say. There's some words that you're allowed to say, like ass.
Yeah, exactly.
You can say that.
Yeah, why don't you list all of them right now?
I could.
Toe the line one time for me.
Legally, I could.
I like this seat. I'd like to not leave it anytime soon.
All right. I'll give you this one. All right.
Okay.
1997. The highest grossing film in 1997. Man, how do I word this clue without completely giving it away? How about after many years of searching for something, the woman just said, I'm going to throw it back out there.
Oh, come on. Without giving it away, you just gave it away. You just gave that one away.
Oh, you found it?
My gosh. It was the stupidest thing ever written. Stupid.
I'll never let go.
So stupid.
Let go.
Come on now.
All right, it's time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
Congrats to everyone on being our next qualifier. Today's headlines is brought to you by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. Hey, I appreciate you doing that, though, because some people just need a win right now.
Yes.
Rough stretches happen. And Canada's in one in the worst way. Not only do we have men's Olympic gold in hockey, women's Olympic gold in hockey, and knock them out of the World Baseball Classic. Oh, Canada. They lost to the men's sled hockey team in the gold medal game in the Paralympics. And that is another one for the USA over Canada on the ice.
And another one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
USA just keeps on rolling.
Hockey country.
They've really had Canada's been on a really bad stretch. And they're big talkers. They're really big talkers.
Well, especially that sport because they feel like they can, and then they lose. And I've enjoyed every second of it. So go USA,
I love
baby.
it. Absolutely
Just
enjoy
keep
it.
getting clapped.
Keep talking.
Silver shines just as bright. Still does.
I still can't believe they posted that. Silver
That's
shines
so
just
bad.
as bright as gold. That's so weak.
So shout out Canada. Shout out the men's sled
Thanks,
hockey
Canada.
team in the Paralympics. March Madness, of course, if you have lived under a rock, Selection Sunday was yesterday, so we know who's in, who's out. I always find this interesting. So they always do the last four in and the first four out. So the last four in were NC State, Texas, SMU, and Miami, Ohio. The first four out being Oklahoma, Auburn, San Diego State, and Indiana. Let me ask you guys, why do they feel the need to do first four out? Doesn't that just crush you if you're a fan of those teams?
It shows you that what the committee was thinking in how they were doing their job. That's why they're showing it to you. They're showing you, these are the teams that came the closest. So they're telling you, hey, the committee really respected these teams. But
yeah. Now, let's say it was Temple, right? Would you guys want to know that you were one of the first four out, that you were that close?
Because then I can go back to see what was the game that kept them.
What kept us out?
What was the game? What was the bad loss?
Could write a book this year.
Yeah, I know. It's been a bad year for the Owls.
Been a bad stretch.
Been a bad couple of years.
Yeah.
One of the most historic colleges, and yet it's been a while since we've seen any sort of taste of history.
Anything.
Hey, man, you'll get there. We'll talk about a turnaround in a second, but while we're on March Madness real quick, any teams that you like that are not one of the top seeded teams that you're keeping an eye on?
Let me see. Well, I mean, what do you like? I'm not doing I don't do value bets.
No, I'm not even talking about betting. Just maybe a team you just want to watch.
Oh, a team you just want to watch?
Well, look, they are a top seed, but I've been watching them all. Michigan's ridiculous. If you haven't watched
Michigan is so much fun to watch.
They're big. They're athletic. They're crazy. And oh, by the way, their draw is perfect. I'm like locking them in to be.
Yeah, I think they really do have a great draw. The first look I had at it, this is chalk.
Not in the East.
I think it looks chalky,
dude.
I think it looks chalky tournament.
The eastern portion of the bracket: Duke, UConn, Michigan State, Kansas. Those are your first four. St. John's, Louisville. Those are your top six. UCLA. That's a really tough.
Oh, it's brutal. No, it's
portion of the bracket.
I still think it's a chalky tournament. This tournament's going to be very chalky.
I don't know. I don't know if I feel that way, John.
Well, we have a chance to go out against each other.
And we'll be doing our bracket challenge here, so we'll have to talk about it. All right, we'll round out with this. I told you we're going to talk about a team making a quick turnaround. How about the Buffalo Sabres, who are having an outstanding season in the NHL, leading the Atlantic, 88 points so far on the year. And it's been a team that they kind of came out of nowhere this year. A great story in hockey, but you got to wonder how they made this turnaround. What has built the chemistry that has led to the Buffalo Sabres being a playoff team this year and top in their division? Rasmus Dahlin, one of their defensemen, was asked about how they've gone through building chemistry this year to have such success.
Drink beer.
Just drink beer.
I like that.
Short, simple answer.
I think that's good. There's sports science behind that, I would imagine.
There is protein.
I think that's good.
Maybe.
There's
Carbs.
good waste.
Good carbs.
Do you think Philadelphia sports is just a couple beers away from their next championship?
Well, we have to drink a lot of them to survive some of these winter seasons.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So that's logical. Yeah, it could very well be. I like the attitude. The Buffalo story is amazing, and it's one that should inspire local fans here to say that turnarounds can happen, and they can happen pretty dramatic.
Joel Embiid doesn't drink. Maybe he should start.
Yeah, maybe beer.
Bryce Harper. I know it's for religious reasons.
We might have just solved things.
You know, maybe they need to start drinking beer in this city.
We have Jonesy on at 9:05, so we can pitch that.
Jonesy's known to drink a beer.
Do you think the guys just need more beers? The hard-hitting questions from us here.
I think that's a very, very good question to ask. By the way, congratulations to Shane Stone from Roebling, New Jersey. Never heard of it.
Never heard of Roebling, New Jersey.
Connor, have you known Roebling?
I don't have Roebling in my bag.
Roebling has 3 notable people. I looked it up on Wikipedia.
Shane Stone.
3 notable people.
They have Gia Maoni, who is a singer and was the wife of singer Luis Prima. John A. Roebling, who they named the town off of. He created the steel for the Brooklyn Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge. Wow. So that guy, legacy.
Okay.
You know, that's why you name a town after him.
No idea
And
who
how
he
about
is.
that Heath Philmeyer?
No idea.
Who played baseball in Major Leagues for the Kansas City Royals.
I think our contest winner is the most famous person from there.
He is now.
Actually.
Congratulations to Shane Stone. You're in the running. We'll give you more in the next segment. Highest grossing film by year. How important is Dallas Goedert and the tight end position in a Sean Mannion offense? We'll talk to Andrew DeCecco on the re-signing of Dallas Goedert and more Eagles-related nuggets with our Eagles insider here from 97.5, The Fanatic.
Are you ready to pop the big question? Well, if you are, I've got the answer for you. It's Benari Jewelers, and there's 2 answers. There's Exton, there's Newtown Square, 2 spectacular showrooms. You can get your directions at BenariJewelers.com, and you're going to find out about their industry-leading 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Your natural diamond is never going to lose value. How many things can you buy, can you take out of the showroom, like a car or otherwise, and automatically it appraises 10% higher? Your diamond does when you buy it from Benari. That's how much confidence they have. That's how much confidence they have that they're going to be the best relationship with you when you buy your diamonds there. From the world's premier diamond cutters, handcrafted rings from the world's most sought-after designers. You're going to get a lifetime of free service, including sizing and cleaning. And to top it all off, Benari Jewelers offers that industry-leading 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. You're never going to lose value. In fact, you gain it from the minute you make the deal. And you're going to love their staff. They help you through the process of buying that diamond. Guys, Benari Jewelers is the best. Exton in Newtown Square. Check them out. Benari Jewelers. When you're ready to pop the question, Benari is always the answer.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A ninth year for Goedert. I'm Connor Thomas. The Eagles and Dallas Goedert agreed to a one-year, $7 million deal yesterday to bring him back for a ninth season here in Philadelphia. With the move, the Birds got out of what would have been a $20.5 million dead cap hit if Goedert had signed elsewhere, at least for this year. They also shored up the tight end spot, something they'll have to address for the future, but for the first year of Sean Mannion's offense, he's going to have the 11-touchdown tight end in the fold. The Sixers took down the Blazers yesterday, 109-103. They've now won 2 straight without most of their starting lineup available. Play the Nuggets tomorrow night out in Denver. Flyers lost in a shootout to the Blue Jackets on Saturday. 6 points out of a wild card spot. They have 16 games to play. They're off till Wednesday. Phillies have begun to cut down their spring training roster. We're just a little over a week until opening day. Team USA, a dramatic win over the Dominican Republic last night, 2-1 in the World Baseball Classic semis, even with a controversial strike call to end the game, we'll say. USA will play the winner of Italy-Venezuela in the title game on Tuesday, and Penn and Nova are going dancing. UPenn, a 14 seed in March Madness in the South region. Nova, an 8 seed in the West. We'll talk to Andrew DeCecco next about the Dallas Goedert re-signing. We'll talk to Keith Jones at 9:05 for the latest on the Flyers. This update is brought to you by NJM Insurance. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
It is 8 a.m. here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We're going to speak to our man, Andrew DeCecco, coming up in about 5 minutes to talk about Dallas Goedert returning, the importance of the tight end position in a Sean Mannion offense, and all other kinds of Eagles-related discussions. Do they still draft the tight end early? I believe that they should. We'll see what Andrew DeCecco thinks coming up in a little bit, Johnny. But what we've been talking about so far today is what is the one word that you can use to describe how you're feeling about Philadelphia sports? And then obviously explain yourself why. I'm stressed, which I don't think is a negative word.
It's not?
Nobody wants to be stressed, but I don't think it's bad right now. I'm just stressed.
I think stressed is a very negative word. Like, to me, that's a very negative.
I guess when you live your life in stress, it's not so bad. I don't know, because I also expect good things out of these teams. I think it's just teetering. We're teetering right now. One bit of news could make me feel better. One bit of news could make me feel worse.
Okay, give me an example of one bit of news that we could get today that would make you feel better.
A.J. Brown is not being traded. He's thrilled to be a part of the Sean Mannion-led offense.
So you're going to hear that from A.J.?
Sure.
So A.J. speaking.
Yeah. That would make me feel so much better.
Because, at any time, A.J. could have put all of this to bed if it really wasn't true.
Could have.
He could have put all this to bed, but he didn't because it was true.
What would make me feel worse today is Sixers announced that Joel Embiid is done for the season. And I'm just like, oh, well, there goes the year. It's over. Like that would teeter me one way in a complete negative way. But if it comes out that he's ready to go tomorrow against the Nuggets, which he's not,
You're going to say,
all right, let's see how it looks. Because I'm in a day-by-day stance right now with the Sixers.
I think you're in denial.
Taking a day at a time. No,
I think you're in denial. If you're saying that Joel Embiid coming back is going to get you to be like, yeah, I'm then I can be like they have a chance or something.
A chance to win a playoff series. I'm not saying win a championship, Johnny. Those dreams are.
I've seen all that. That doesn't. Winning a playoff series does nothing for me. Does nothing for me with the Sixers.
One series at a time, Johnny.
Please.
One series at a time. You're unfulfilled, which I think a lot of people probably feel.
Yeah, I'm unfulfilled.
I think your word is probably the most relatable word because you're not saying that it stinks here.
No, it doesn't.
But they haven't brought home the big one. Eagles did a couple years ago.
Yeah, the Eagles leave me overall pretty much fulfilled. And I trust the Eagles so much. But other than that, man, feel unfulfilled.
I think we're all speaking for everybody because even close, which is Connor's answer, there's a lot of people that don't want to admit that things might not go well. Look at me with the Sixers. Like, I'm a prime example. Like, I just don't want to admit it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
there's people that don't want to admit that A.J. Brown might want to get traded. Like, there's people that don't want that. And so they don't want it so much that they're going to act like it's not true. There's a lot to it. We want to know from you, 610-632-0975. What do we got in the text line before we give your next question? Congratulations, Joe from Berlin, our latest qualifier for getting the Titanic. I literally led you to water.
I mean, seriously. Okay, make it a challenging, at least somewhat challenging.
All right.
Please.
All right, fine. Then.
Like, make it so there's at least some challenge to it. These clues are ridiculous.
Should I give you the 1915 highest grossing film?
Citizen Kane.
No, The Birth of a Nation.
No, but I mean, let's make it that there's at least a little challenge to it. A little bit of it.
I want everybody to be happy. What do we got?
Ben in Bucks County checks in. Now, he doesn't have a word, but we did talk earlier about the 2026 draft being paramount for the Eagles. And he disagrees. He says, I believe that the 2027 draft is the most important draft. What I'd be doing is trading assets for this season to set that season up. You have to prepare as if Hurts won't be your quarterback.
Oh,
and if he is your quarterback in 2027, you have so much draft ammunition to continue to build the team.
Buddy, you have to prepare to that gentleman. You have to prepare that Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson both may not be here in 2027. That is what you need to prepare for. They both may be gone. That's what you need to prepare for. So as much as you want to talk about the quarterback, for God's sakes, the quarterback is the least of their issues.
Yeah.
When they're talking about that, they need to worry about that they could lose two of the key cogs on the offensive line. That needs to be paramount. Now, the quarterback could be huge. I mean, it could be a huge thing. If he has but it's not like he is a huge – the guy, all he does is just make the playoffs over and over again. If you want to move on from Jalen Hurts, there will be plenty of teams that would be willing to move with you to move on from Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. All right, here's your next one. Maybe this one won't give it away too much.
Yeah, don't give it. Make somebody have to work a little bit.
I'll go the very next year.
So what is that, 2011?
The very next year was 1998.
Oh, okay.
This movie, highest grossing film in 1998. Your clue, from everyday men to world heroes.
Okay, that's an easy one. But not an easy for most. It's an easy one for me.
Never seen it.
Do you think you know what it is?
Yes.
I know exactly what it is.
I know exactly
right.
what it is.
I gotta
and
watch
it is a great movie.
I watched the movie in the car.
What?
My dad had this like mini TV. We had a trip to Florida. You know, we didn't have the fancy cars that had the TVs in the back of the seats. We had the block of wood that my dad put in between our we had a minivan, right? The Salciunas family had the minivan driving down to Florida, and my sister and I watched it.
What an uplifting thing to watch on your way to Florida.
Yeah.
Where were you going? Disney?
Probably. And then my grandparents lived down there.
You were going to Disney, and it's like,
yeah.
That movie was the one your dad said, let's put that in for them.
Yep.
That's incredible.
I think it was probably a sister's choice, I'm going to guess.
Big Al.
I think it was my sister's choice. She was 4 years older than me. So
Big Al and I have to have a talk.
Well, Oppenheimer wasn't available yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
All right, joining us now to talk about the Dallas Goedert contract extension,
Yes.
Or re-signing, 1 year, $7 million. Our man from Inside the Birds, N97.5, the Fanatic, the great Andrew the Checo. Andrew, how do we view Dallas Goedert so much differently than the rest of the league does that they were able to get him back for just $7 million?
Yeah, it's kind of funny coming off a career high in receptions with 60 and a career high of his own with 11 touchdowns, but he is 31 years old. He does have an extensive injury history, and his blocking guys has regressed, but he does have a lot of value, obviously, with the Philadelphia Eagles. On the field, the chemistry with Jalen Hurts is apparent, and the culture fit is something that shouldn't be glossed over because he's been in the building, he's beloved by his teammates, and being able to work something out and come to that resolution, it's certainly better than the great unknown, where you're trying to piecemeal it together, find that top tight end, and you don't know how that on-field fit's going to play out. You don't know how they're going to fit inside the locker room and with those type of dynamics. So I think he's exclusively viewed in a certain way in Philadelphia, and he has a lot of value for the Philadelphia Eagles.
How shocked are you, though, that the rest of the league doesn't value it the same way that we do? I mean, you see it on a daily basis when you know what kind of a value he's brought to that team.
Yeah, it's curious to me, John, because Dallas Goedert's never had the big numbers. He's always been someone who operates around the 600-700-yard mark. He is usually good to miss a few games this season. But if you watch the games, and some of the biggest games that I can remember the Eagles playing over the last 3-4 years, Super Bowl 57, Dallas Goedert maybe had the best game of his career. And he's delivered in the postseason. If you watch it on a game-to-game basis in Philadelphia, you have an understanding of the impact that he has. But I think when you look at his numbers and compare it to his peers around the league, there's a kind of a stark contrast there. So I don't know that maybe outside of Philadelphia he's viewed as a top 8, top 10 tight end, whatever you want to call it. But we've seen the impact that he can make on an offense. And I think in this offense, guys, with Sean Mannion, and again I say Sean Mannion, we don't know what that offense is going to look like, but his influences, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell, they traditionally involve the tight end quite a bit. So I think Dallas Goedert's going to have a more expanded role, and I'm curious to see how that pans out.
Andrew, do they still draft a tight end early on in the draft? And if they do they carry 4 tight ends in a Sean Mannion offense? Because not only is Dallas Goedert back, but they also have the Munt, and they have Grant Calcaterra.
Great question, Andrew. And the way that I view it, you look at the influences that I just mentioned, and they traditionally go a little heavy in terms of tight ends. And I do believe that they could carry as many as 4, all having different types of skill sets that they bring to the table, and 3 of which being involved in the game plan on game days. But, I mean, I think this maybe puts Grant Calcaterra towards the bottom. He may have to battle to make the roster. The Eagles do like him as a pass-catching tight end. There's still room to grow in that area. But I do believe that they could carry 4, and I thought that even when they brought Sean Mannion in, that was going to be a possibility. And as far as drafting a tight end early, I do believe that they should. I don't know that it will be in the first round like a Kenyon Sadiq, because that would be really rich at 23, nor do I believe that he would be available at 23. But you're talking day 2, a Max Clare from Ohio State, or an Eli Stowers perhaps, if you maybe have to trade up a little bit in the second round to get him. Yeah, I think you still need to find that successor because they don't have that there. You have Dallas Goedert for a year. You know the kind of production that he's going to give you as a pass catcher, but you do need to find that young player that they can groom under him so that he's ready to take the baton, if you will, when Dallas Goedert and the Eagles decide to move on.
How much of the role of the tight end, though, do you believe from your studies is going to change in this offense with Sean Mannion? I mean, because is there a chance that we're going to see a much more dynamic Dallas Goedert and just, in the way that this offense looks, that maybe this $7 million ends up being a huge bargain in the long term?
Yeah, if he stays healthy, John, I do believe that the contract will turn out to be a bargain for the Eagles, because I still believe that Dallas Goedert has a couple of good seasons left in him as long as he can stay healthy. That's always the big caveat. But in this type of an offense, I do believe you're going to see him get vertical and work the seams a little bit. In the red zone, he's going to continue to have a focal point there because he has a unique skill set where you can flip him the ball. He's good in space. He's really good after the catch, and he's good going up there and battling and out-muscling defensive backs and linebackers for the football. He has unique dimensions, and I believe that last season offered only a glimpse. It's a shame because so far into his career, you never really got to see him used in a multifaceted capacity. But I just get the sense from watching how offenses, McVay and Shanahan, how they use their tight ends, short, intermediate, and even working the seams there. And he should see a little bit more volume, but I don't know realistically how much more that volume will be because I'm still not anticipating this offense being all of a sudden a volume-based passing attack. I think you'll see him get more quality targets and still be involved in the red zone.
Why do you say that? Is it more quarterback related? Is it just kind of what Nick Sirianni wants? Why would you say that you don't expect it to still be a high volume passing attack?
Because that would necessitate throwing the ball 35 times a game. I think you have to be more opportunistic, and there's different things that I'm expecting them to bring, particularly Josh Grizzard, in terms of spacing, route concepts, opening things up down the field for other players, more creativity. So you're going to see probably more explosive plays, but the Eagles aren't equipped to be a volume-based passing attack. And in fact, when I look at this offense, a lot's being made about what the passing game is going to look like. I would keep an eye on the run game first because I think that's where you're going to see the most noticeable difference in terms of scheme and how heavy they lean into that and try to take advantage of Saquon Barkley for another season and that offensive line that should be coming back into full health. That's where I think you're going to notice the biggest difference in terms of how they scheme up the run and what they're able to do off of it.
It's a very, very exciting offseason coming up now. The mini camps, do you think we're going to get to see a lot of what this offense is going to look like? Or do you think things are going to mostly be kept under wraps?
Yeah, I think they'll be mostly kept under wraps, John. That's why I think I was talking to you guys about this. You have no way of knowing what the offense is truly going to look like until you get into September in the regular season, where everything's live and every game means something, and you're not implementing a vanilla game plan in the preseason. I go back to training camps of years past, where DeAndre Swift was a primary receiver, and that didn't correlate into regular season success. Last summer, it was Saquon Barkley and Will Shipley on the wheel routes. There's just been a lot of things that have transpired in training camp that you don't necessarily see the carryover in the regular season. It'll be in the playbook, but you don't really have an idea of how it's ultimately shaping until you get into September and everything starts to ramp up.
Andrew, we appreciate the time, man. Enjoy your week, and we will talk to you again soon.
Sounds great, guys. Take care.
There's our man, Andrew DeCecco, on the Dallas Goedert extension or re-signing 1 year, $7 million. And everybody inside Philadelphia recognizes how much of a steal that is. Everybody on the outside of Philadelphia, there's no market for him. It's amazing.
When I saw $7 million, I could not believe it.
I was shocked. Typo, right? I'm like, all right, that can't be true.
No, it can't
$7 million.
That doesn't make any sense.
And we were talking last week when we were talking about where we would go. I think we both said, 2 for 20.
No, I thought 2 for 20.
10 mil a year. I thought maybe it could be even more because of the whole dead cap thing.
I was willing to go Chili's.
Does he play hardball a little bit? Applebee's, show some respect.
Oh, is it Applebee's?
Does he play hardball a little bit? Hey, you don't want that $20 million dead cap hit, so let's make it 212, 2 for $24 million, 1 for 7. Like, I'm shocked by that.
Well, it was weird. Is one of the aggregator guys yesterday was Dallas Goedert held all the cards on the Eagles. And I said, with all due respect, he did not hold all the cards. He signed a $7 million 1 year deal. He had no cards. He was the guy who had nobody was at the table asking for his services. I can't understand it, and I'm baffled. I'm baffled because he's such a tremendous talent. I don't understand it, but it's a blessing for the Eagles.
Yeah,
it's a blessing that it worked out that way.
All right, congratulations to Mike Bennett from South Philly, our most recent qualifier. The answer was, a lot of people got on YouTube immediately, Armageddon.
I got to see that. I've never seen it.
It's a good movie. It's fine. Like, it's a good movie. Highest grossing film. I appreciate.
What year was that?
1998.
98.
So I have IMDb has like the scores next to it. It did not do well. So I'm gonna guess that 1998 was not a good year of movies. Just my guess in terms of that being
98 was Saving Private Ryan as well. So
Was
there
it
were some
really?
other good movies.
Yeah. That was Saving Private Ryan year.
You knew that off the top of your head. It's impressive.
No, I looked it up because I
was-
wanted to make sure it was Armageddon.
All right. I was gonna say it's impressive that
Which
you
is
knew-
great.
No, I don't know
knew it
any
off
of
the
these.
top of your
I
head.
Google it.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. How about I give you another one?
All right.
All right. This
Armageddon.
one. 1976.
Wow.
The highest grossing film in 1976. Your clue, Eagles third down. That's all I'll say. Eagles third down. Highest grossing film of 1976. If you think you know the answer, text it to 610-632-0975. As John Kincade rolls his eyes. They went to the back of his head and
They did.
and then they continued. They made
my
a
gosh.
full loop to get back to the front.
I loved Saquon up the middle in theaters.
It was a great movie.
Elephant begins with this letter.
All right. By the way, I was going to get to it with Andrew, but we were up against it. Would you have interest in Juwan Jennings?
Yes.
I like
Yes.
him a lot.
Yes.
Very underrated player with the San Francisco 49ers. I think he's expecting a lot more money. I think he probably thought that because there was a couple of hold-ins during his time in San Francisco. Look, so much talk about Brandon Ayuk and then his injuries and off the field stuff.
Oh, I'm
Deebo
in.
Samuel goes to the Commanders. Juwan Jennings was like a staple for
You're
them in
talking
San
my
Francisco.
language now. I like this.
This is a with or without A.J. Brown response
Oh,
for me.
no. I'm in.
'Cause he's a
Especially
guy-
this Mannion offense.
He's your third wide receiver.
Oh.
Or he's your, if let's say they do trade A.J. Brown, he's your number 2 and the rookie that you draft gets to ease in a little bit.
Dude, I am all in on this.
I like him a lot. I'm surprised that he's still available right now on free agency.
Yeah, he's that's an interesting
He's
one.
28 years old. Like it's
Yeah.
not like he's 33. Like you're probably signed him to if he's still out there, he's not getting a lot of money, clearly.
Correct.
He probably thought he was going to get a big payday, which I think he thought a couple of times from San Francisco. If he's still out there, because I saw somebody bring up Brandon Cooks. I don't want to do that.
No.
Like I get it, he's a veteran presence
No.
and
No.
he's reliable.
The only way you'd want somebody like a Cooks here potentially is if you drafted somebody and A.J. Brown was gone.
Yeah, but I'd rather do that with Juwan Jennings. Honestly.
I'd rather do it with Juwan Jennings because there's more upside. There's more upside to that.
Absolutely.
There's no way.
All right, we got on the text line, Connor, 610-632-0975. The Davis Honda text line.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Davis Honda, for joining the club. Greg from Moreland
club.
checks in. And first of all, he's mad at me for guessing Citizen Kane for the top mover from 1915. But he also says, you never heard a joke, Greg? He says the word he would use to describe Philly sports right now is mid. Mid.
Okay.
Mid.
You have two teams that are not going to win a championship, that are totally out of the mix of winning a championship. One that has constantly kicked you in the privates as far as high expectations, but they show up small at the biggest moments. And you got an organization that continually does whatever it takes to try to win. I don't think that's a bad assessment if you're looking at it all together.
I think based on expectations, it's fair. I think based on comparison to other sports towns, it's unfair.
You have two teams that for 2 decades have done nothing. So 50% of the equation.
Yeah, Sixers Flyers
have done nothing for a generation.
Flyers at least got
it's a generation.
There's some bad sports towns out there.
Oh, no,
though,
I
man.
get you. Believe me. Believe me.
Yeah, but we're not saying it's bad.
You're not saying it's
mid.
bad. It's mid. It's middle. Mid.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's the Davis Honda
I can
text
see
line.
it. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
fighting
mid.
against it heavy.
Feel the
Especially
Davis
when two of
difference
them
at Davis
stink.
Honda in Burlington.
There you go.
All right, coming up next, we'll get another qualifier. We'll give you another highest grossing film by year with the random clues that I come up with. But also, Johnny, there is an Eagles reporter that's speaking your language when it comes to A.J. Brown. But I have a question for you that I'm curious to get your answer on. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Oh, I love live betting on the BetParks app. The BetParks app's absolutely fantastic. It's the only casino app that I recommend to you. Potential payouts on a $25 wager with the big tournament coming. You bet 25 on Duke's, going to pay you $68.75. 25 on Florida pays you 162.50. 25 on Arizona is going to give you 100, 4-1 odds. And 25 on Michigan pays you 87.50. Those are the top 4 teams. But locally, you're going to want to get in on, well, you got to put something down on Penn. You got to put something down on Villanova. Look, there are so many great ways to wager on the BetParx app. The first 4 play-in games and then 2 Thursday and Friday games beginning at noon, late into the night. All of the action's right there for you on the BetParx app. Make your downtime fun time. There's always another way to win. It's so much fun. It's so easy to wager, and it's so easy to put together that fantastic parlay. And remember, too, you can put a bunch of favorites together. If you think the favorites are the way to go, put a bunch of the favorites together on a big bet and take care of business that way. You don't have to go with the long underdog picks. You're going to love it. You got to be 21, and you must be in New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, or Michigan. Should you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Eagles avoid a major cap hit. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Birds and Dallas Goedert agreed to a 1-year, $7 million deal yesterday. He comes back for a 9th season here as a member of the Eagles, and with the move, the Eagles stayed out of what would have been a massive cap hit, $20.5 million dead cap hit if Dallas Goedert had signed elsewhere. They also make sure that the tight end spot, is shored up for another year, which is important, especially with new offensive coordinator Sean Mannion getting his first shot at things. Sixers took down the Blazers yesterday, 109-103. They've now won 2 straight without most of their starting lineup available. They'll play the Nuggets tomorrow night. Flyers lost in a shootout to the Blue Jackets on Saturday. 6 points out of a wild card spot. 16 games to play. They'll be back in action Wednesday. Phillies have begun to cut down their spring training roster. We're just a little over a week until opening day. Team USA has advanced to the finals of the World Baseball Classic after a dramatic 2-1 win over the Dominican Republic last night. A little bit of help from the home plate umpire on a controversial third strike call. They'll play the winner of Italy-Venezuela on Tuesday. Penn and Nova, they're going dancing. Penn is a 14 seed in March Madness in the South region. Nova, an 8 seed in the West, so some Philly representation. Andrew DiCecco just joined us, but we'll also talk to Keith Jones coming up at 9:05 for the latest on the Flyers. This update is brought to you by Family & Company Jewelers in Marlton. No pressure, no commission shopping, with every price clearly displayed, no haggling, just real value from a family-owned business on Route 70 or shop online at FamilyJewelers.com. South Jersey's diamond destination. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
made, but for some reason, trust this Washington College guy to produce. Charity comes in many forms. Kincade Salciunas is back from the break. I wonder what they're going to get into.
All right, it's 8:31 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. I just saw Ray Dunn, so you just heard the voice of Ray Dunn. I saw him during the commercial break. He's got the khaki pants on and the button-down shirt. He kind of looks like he's dressed for the first day of school. He is speaking to high school students via Zoom today. So I think he wants to fit in with the outfit. It looks like a first day of school outfit today.
Well, Ray Dunn is Ray Dunn's an idol to my students.
Yes,
I know that at Temple.
He's an idol to me.
They all love him.
When I grow up, I want to be like Ray Dunn one day.
It's amazing. By the way, those who mock guys like Joe Lunardi and they love to mock Mel Kiper Jr. and those type of guys that do their thing. Joe Lunardi, a perfect 68 for 68 on the field.
Did he really? Man,
a perfect 37 for 37 on the at-large team.
Seating and everything, or just making it?
How about this? On the seating, he was 57 of 68.
That's ridiculous, dude. That's ridiculous.
Shout out Joe.
Yeah, no,
37
that's
of 37 on the at-large team, 68 of 68 on the field, 57 of 68 seated unbelievably.
Maybe he's got insider trading. I don't know.
Maybe the smartest thing ever to come out of St. Joe's. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe the smartest thing.
By the way, congratulations, Matt from Levittown, our most recent qualifier. The answer was 1976, highest grossing film.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yes,
dun,
Rocky.
dun, dun,
He was the only one who got it.
Really?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I mean, you gave away
Eagles third down, man. Eagles third down.
Apple begins with, yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to help the people out.
Okay. Can I ask? I know it's gonna be unpopular. Can we ever update that? Like, find someone else or not?
No.
Can we
Never.
just have to keep using
Gonna
it?
keep going. It's Philly, man.
Okay.
What do you want it to be? Creed? We could do Creed.
No, I'm just saying that'd be great. Michael B. Jordan.
It would still
Best
be
actor.
it would still be the same bells and everything, though.
Michael B. Jordan. I knew he was going to be a huge talent back when he was Reggie on All My Children.
How about that?
He was a stud, and
You and LeBron.
he replaced Chadwick Boseman in the same part.
How about that?
Chadwick Boseman played the part, got fired. They hired Michael B. Jordan. So, hey, Pine Valley. Shout out to Pine Valley.
Damn right, man. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, man. Such a talent.
Oh, my God, what a
actor.
talent.
All right, I'll give you another one here then. Let's go. Fine, I'll make the clue a little bit more difficult. 1988.
Okay, this is right in my wheelhouse.
The highest grossing film in 1988. Your clue.
Okay.
Who's on first?
Got it.
You got it?
Yep.
All right.
I knew the era is
Okay,
is
so you know
just
the year, yeah.
the era, and then you give me that. Yes.
Who's on first is your clue. Do you have any idea?
I got to think through it. My brain's not braining right now, but
Really
give me a
good,
second.
obviously really good movie. Like tremendous movie. Obviously highest grossing film in 1988.
Spectacular movie.
So text it in 610-632-0975. All right, this morning I read an article from Reuben Frank on NBC Sports Philadelphia, and he did his 10 nuggets. He likes to do that a lot, where he has a bunch of things regarding the Philadelphia Eagles. And he has something on A.J. Brown. And basically what he wrote about was making the case for the Eagles trading A.J. Brown. All right, because obviously the majority of Eagles fans don't want him traded. And
he believes he's going to be traded.
Yes, he does. But he wrote hey, this is why it could make sense. He wrote, the more I think about it, the more I wonder if a trade wouldn't be best for everybody. A.J. Brown turns 29 this summer, and physically is not the player he used to be, and he just seems like a guy who wants and needs a fresh start somewhere else. Okay. Would it be catastrophic to lose A.J.? It depends who you replace him with, but that's why Howie is correct in keeping the price tag high. If you get a first and a second back, you can start packaging your picks and find your way into the upper reaches of the first-round players. You've talked about a couple. He wrote Jordan Tyson and Casey Concepcion. So he's got a couple names there.
He's fantastic.
He said, now you've got younger, faster, and cheaper wide receivers. You've eliminated the potential headache of an unhappy, distracted veteran in the locker room. And you've got both Devontae Smith and the new guy under contract for the foreseeable future. So, all this kind of stuff. Let me ask you this, because I'm curious what your answer would be. He says if you get a first and a second back, hell yeah, you do that in a heartbeat. I told you 1 and a 3. Like I don't walk away from that.
I think you're dreaming if you think you're getting a first and second back, because there's not enough bidders at the table.
All right, what if you don't get a great return? Are you still doing it?
No. No, I'm going to take my chances that maybe AJ will conduct himself this year with the focus of a professional.
Okay. So you're not trading him just to trade him?
No, absolutely
not.
not.
I just wanted to get that clear because you're much more in the camp of trade AJ.
No, because of the fact that he is not the man's not a distraction as far as he's not a bad person. He's not a bad guy. He's not. Terrell Owens was going to be a pain in the backside to everybody in the universe if they didn't get rid of him. That's not A.J. Brown. So no. You got to get there must be a nice return on investment involved.
Okay.
There must be. No, if it's not, forget it.
If it's like a 2 and a 5, you're not doing it.
No.
All right, I just want to make that clear.
No.
Because I have I can't say no to price. But
what is if you give me a first, I told you, first and fourth, I can't say no. Cannot say no.
Right.
First and fourth. Right now, I would say first and fifth conditional to a fourth. I would say yes. But as long as a first's involved, I'm saying yes. Because of the fact is the Landon Dickerson contract, is one that you've got so much you have to get done. And the sooner you get the offensive lineman in here to understand what's going on, the better. You can't just say, next year we'll go and get the replacement for Lane, the replacement for Landon, because you may be plugging them in for 27 season. And then you have a total, step back year. If you had to plug in 27, a new starter for Landon, a new starter for Lane, a new starter for Goedert, then you're talking about potentially a step back season.
Yeah, and you don't
want that. No, get him in the house.
All right, I just saw a comment on YouTube that I would like to address from our man, the Fit Dad CEO. Big fan of your work.
What's up?
I am normally with you. And on the A.J. Brown front, I want him here. So I'll go first, John, because I know you will pop off.
Okay.
So I almost need to put you like a muzzle on you.
Here, how about this? Because here it's going to be again.
He says A.J. did conduct himself as a professional. Tweeting or Instagramming quotes doesn't make someone unprofessional. I disagree. If I went on social media and said things about the Fanatic, there would be a Crossing Broad article in 5 minutes, and it would no longer be Radio Bores. It would be Radio Wars, and it would be, does Andrew Salciunas have a problem with 97.5 The Fanatic?
What if you were on a live stream and you started trashing your station?
Yeah.
And started trashing your offense. And you started trashing our program director and his plan for the station.
Right.
Would that be professional or unprofessional?
To me, Fit Dad, creating unnecessary drama is something that I would categorize as unprofessional.
What if you called your workplace a show?
Yeah.
Would that be professional or unprofessional? Because in any workplace,
I've probably said it behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I don't know if I ever said it publicly.
In any workplace, that would be considered unprofessional. There's no workplace where you could be in a public setting where people are witnessing it and you're calling your workplace a show, and that would be considered professional behavior. None. It is funny, though, because just the other day on Friday, in a matter of 2 minutes, I received 2 emails on a Friday afternoon. Joseph sends me an email. John, you're so smug about AJ. Repeating your athlete should be professional take. I'm not going to stop. I'm stopping listening to your show. 2 minutes later, 2 minutes.
All right.
Steven, John, I appreciate your candor on A.J. Brown. Though I don't always agree with you, the points you make, at least you're basing them in factual discussion. I absolutely want him back at all costs and do not want to consider trading him. But at least I understand your point of view, and you're only discussing things that are factually based. Within 2 minutes, you get 2 things. People are so up in their emotions with this, and I just said to Joseph, I said, have a great weekend. I said, have a have a wonderful weekend.
Now, look, we live
and
this.
It's this venom email. Connor, he's waiting for you. He says he's waiting. Joseph wants you in my chair, so I said, have a wonderful weekend.
I like this chair.
Our program director always drops don't assume sometimes when we talk about things. Fit Dad wants to know, show me where he did that. And Fran, very next comment, kind of like your email, was, what the bleep is a Janky Rondo?
Seriously.
But Janky Rondo is a streamer in which A.J. Brown went on it and talked about the bleep show that was the Eagles.
And
offense.
then that was, by the way, lead story Sports Center.
Yeah.
Lead story morning debate shows. Covered on all the websites. I mean, come on.
After the win against the Buccaneers. So, look, Fit Dad, I'm normally with you. And I want A.J. here. But there were moments of him being unprofessional.
That's completely unprofessional. And by the way, subtweeting your employer, and that is completely unprofessional. Yeah. You don't do it.
Can I still subtweet Salciunas?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no,
Yeah.
On this show, we would like you to do that.
Okay.
All right, coming up next. Does the Phillies season hinge on Zach Wheeler? One national reporter says so. That's kind of scary. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
I may give them a hard time, but they're really not that bad, at least most of the time. Now let's listen to more Kincade and Salciunas before I change my mind.
All right, it's 8:47 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. My parenthood is coming to question on the YouTube channel.
Is this your dad? Because I'm having a talk with Big Al next time.
No, Joe Doman chimes in. Is this week 4 or 5 of Andrew still crying about Jared McCain? I actually feel bad for the kid at this point. He watches his stat lines more than he watches Coop. could be true. You know,
See, I'm more mad at Connor. Because is Connor not telling us any? Connor, you still telling us to pump the brakes?
Yeah.
On it? Well, it's ridiculous. Now you sound more ridiculous.
I don't know what is higher upside in basketball, my son or Jared McCain. I'm going to guess it's Jared McCain.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely one of the worst, most useless deals that has ever been completed.
They sold high on him.
They had no reason.
They sold high on him
to do this deal. None. And they could have used him, by the way.
Yeah, you mean when everybody
this team, by the way,
hurt
Jared McCain being on this team, if he had not been traded, would have actually helped this team avoid the play-in tournament.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
Well, Nick Nurse doesn't know how to use him.
Oh, yeah, well, that's part of it. But you know what's great is the team that's winning the NBA championship, the best organization in sports, in that sport, they find a way to use them.
Yep. By the way, congratulations to Uriah from Croydon, our latest qualifier.
I know Croydon.
The answer was, what movie did I give? What was the last one?
It was Rain Man.
Rain Man. Thank you.
Is,
Did you end
way,
up getting
great.
it?
Yeah, I knew it immediately.
I got there.
I know you knew it immediately.
Shout out to Uriah because he answered Rain Man. Definitely Rain Man.
All right.
That's
perfect. So he had
that is
But do you
work.
remember now, the thing is, I would think Rain Man would be a little like that. That's one that
I watched it in school.
What?
I remember watching it in school.
Huh. Really?
It's like a project or something. We had to watch it.
Really? Now, I would think that that's one that a lot of people did not. Maybe you didn't.
I remember the toothpick scene. Count all the toothpicks.
Of course.
How about what was the show he had to watch every day?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Judge Wapner. Judge Wapner.
He
had to see Judge Wapner
every day.
He had to see it.
How about that?
He had to be there for Judge Wapner. By the way, Tom Cruise, one of the great, it might have been one of the greatest performances.
Oh, it was great. Dude, it was a tremendous movie.
But
yeah, Dustin Hoffman, too.
Dustin Hoffman is just amazing.
All right, we're doing highest grossing films by year. Yesterday was the Oscars. So your next one, 1996.
Okay, this is also Wheelhouse.
Your
should know this
clue is Will Smith was the star in the movie. It was the only movie that Will Smith starred in that was ever a highest grossing film. So think of all the movies that he's been in. It's the only time a Will Smith-led movie was the highest grossing film in the United States of America. So 1996, what movie was it? 610-632-0975. All right, Jeff Passan, Johnny, did an MLB season preview for every team in Major League Baseball. He's my favorite reporter nationally.
Well, he does a great job.
He's awesome. And he answered questions for every single team, the same 3 questions. Those 3 questions is why the season hinges on, and he mentions a player for each team, how to win your fantasy league, like who's that dark horse guy that you're going to pick up, and it wouldn't surprise me if ... and then he talks about something. So it wouldn't surprise me if is that Jesus Luzardo is the best number 3 starter in baseball. His how to win your fantasy league is scooping up Bryson Stott as like a dark horse guy, not early in any baseball drafts. But the big one, why the season hinges on Zach Wheeler.
I'm fascinated by this one because I don't necessarily believe it.
He writes, returning from thoracic outlet syndrome surgery can be a bear for any pitcher. A power pitcher in his mid-30s is particularly susceptible to complications. All systems seem to be a go for Wheeler, though, as his timeline is accelerating, he's targeting a mid-April season debut, which is about as good an outcome as possible for a team so reliant on starting pitching. Among Wheeler, Cy Young runner-up Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, and Aaron Nola, the Phillies have $500 million tied up in their rotation. And as great as Sanchez is, as great as Luzardo has shown he can be, as great as Nola desires to be in the return to his old form, Wheeler is their fulcrum, a stabilizer and an amplifier.
Okay, I hearing there's reasonable rationale behind that, but I could see this year, I could see a scenario where Wheeler could be their 3?
Could be.
Their third biggest competitor?
Or their game 2 starter in a playoff if you want to split up left, right, left.
Yes.
Lazard is your game 3 starter.
Yes. I could see that, and it's no disrespect to Zach Wheeler because I just expect that there's going to be some
bumps in the road,
potentially. And maybe I'm underestimating Zach Wheeler's ability to heal, but I've read a lot about how this coming back from this is hard.
Connor, does it scare you that somebody says the season hinges on Zach Wheeler?
No, it doesn't really.
We have no idea who he's going to be coming back.
See, you say that and you're right? Like,
yes.
I'm not
Normally
a doctor. I just play one on the radio. But everything we've heard from the Phillies on Zach Wheeler, and I don't think they'd be blowing smoke on something like this serious, where it's more than just like a baseball issue, has been positive.
You don't think the Phillies would lie?
Are you kidding me? Have you heard them talk about Aiden Miller's back?
Yeah, Alec Boehm's in a great place.
Come on.
No, that's Alec Boehm's mood.
Otto Kemp is a championship-type player.
Slow down. Listen to what I'm saying. This is thoracic outlet syndrome stuff that dealt with a blood clot. Like, we're talking about the guy's overall health even outside of baseball. I don't think they would be like, oh, yeah, he's fine.
Well, they could say that his overall health is fine, but we do not know. I'm not even talking about game 1 when he returns. I'm talking about 5 starts in, 10 starts. I don't know what we have never experienced this personally here in this city.
And when you read about this is not a chump thing to recover from
for a pitcher specifically, because Markelle Fultz,
especially a power.
Markelle Fultz obviously had thoracic outlets.
And a power pitcher over a finesse pitcher, it absolutely is a difference.
Right, like he's a 98.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know who he is when he comes back.
I got you. You have every right to be concerned, and I think there should be a healthy level of like questioning of what Zach Wheeler is going to be. But everything we've heard has been really positive. The timeline has shifted up, so I'm okay with it because I believe in Zach Wheeler, and I also think he's a good enough pitcher that if he doesn't have 98, let's say he sits 95, 96 this year, he's still going to get a lot.
Yeah, of course. But I don't know if he does sit 95, 96. He was down to what, 92, 93?
Yeah, we don't know what he's going to do.
And that was pre-everything. That was when it came out that he had the blood clot and everything. So I don't know. It kind of scares me that we're talking. You don't have to agree with Jeff Passan. To me, the season will always hinge on the lineup. And I'm not talking about a regular season. I'm talking about 1 month out of the year because that's been the downfall of this team. The pitching has not been the downfall of the Philadelphia Phillies in October. It's been one thing and one thing only. It's the lineup.
Correct.
I almost want to say the season hinges on the trade deadline.
Probably going to, yeah.
Again.
Isn't that amazing?
Got a good club, man.
You got a good club. Good club.
Don't forget they signed Kyle Schwarber. All right, coming up next. Are the Flyers still on pace with where the organization wants them to be in this rebuild? We can get that honest assessment from Keith Jones, who joins the show coming up next at 9:05 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Eagles get a deal done with Goedert. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles and Dallas Goedert agreed to a 1-year, $7 million deal yesterday, bringing him back for a 9th season here in Philadelphia. And with the move, the Birds also avoided a major cap hit. Would have been $20.5 million dead cap if Goedert had signed elsewhere and gotten to free agency. They also make sure that the tight end position is shored up, at least if it's only for another year. So final touches on the roster for the time being. Free agency still open, though, so we'll keep an eye out. Sixers took down the Blazers yesterday, 109-103. They've now won 2 straight without most of their starting lineup available, an impressive feat for them. They play the Nuggets tomorrow night. Flyers lost in a shootout to the Blue Jackets on Saturday. 6 points out of a wild card spot, 16 games to play. They're off till Wednesday, which gives Keith Jones plenty of time to join us coming up next to talk about where the Flyers are at right now. You're not going to want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. The Phils have begun to cut down their spring training rosters. We're just a little over a week until opening day. And Team USA found a dramatic win over the Dominican Republic last night, 2-1 in the World Baseball Classic semifinals. There was a controversial final strike called in the game, but either way, USA takes on Italy, Venezuela's winner in the title game on Tuesday. And Penn and Nova, they're going dancing. UPenn, a 14 seed in March Madness in the South region. Nova, an 8 seed in the west part of the bracket. This update is brought to you by Orderly Meds with affordable GLP-1s. OrderlyMeds.com gives you access to semaglutide and tirzepatide, often up to 50% less. Visit OrderlyMeds.com/radio. Individual results may vary. Eligibility required. See site for details. 97.5 The Fanatic.
But first, let's hear what they got into earlier today on Kincade and Salciunas.
If there was a word to describe your feelings toward Philadelphia sports right now, Johnny, what would that word be, and can you explain it?
Unfulfilled.
Oh, not unfiltered.
No, unfiltered is 2 to 6 here on the Fanatic. Unfulfilled.
That's a good word. Strong.
I think because one organization gives me constant hope, one gives me constant agita, and the other two are just unfulfilled promises. So I say unfulfilled.
I think it's a strong word.
That's where I feel.
I'm stressed.
You're stressed? Is your
Stressed
word?
is my word for Philadelphia sports right now.
Okay, stressed.
Stress doesn't mean I'm miserable and life's over, but I'm stressed right now. I think we're teetering with each team right now. Like, as
You
much
want
as
the
I
window to be open a long time for this Eagles. There's so many good young talents on this Eagles team.
Absolutely.
But if you don't get this offensive line right in this draft, and you don't start restocking that shelf, this window can close very quickly.
Yeah. And to be
And
clear,
you gotta
I'm not
do it.
saying it won't happen. Like, I just want that
Right,
to be
right,
clear.
right.
But I could be stressed about something if it goes one way or the other. Phillies, I think they're contenders, but I'm still stressed about them. Sixers, it's like tax season. We're here again, right? Can we be healthy? It's the same time every year. Tax season is the same time every year, mid-April, right? You start thinking about it in March because maybe you're a little bit later to the party like I am every single year. The Sixers are like that. Can they be healthy? It's the same story.
Now back to the show.
And that's what we've been talking about so far today here on Kincade and Salciunas on this Monday morning. And joining us in a few minutes, we will be speaking with the president of hockey operations for your Philadelphia Flyers.
What's
Keith
his name?
Jones. Keith Jones. I think you've met that guy.
I have met him once or twice.
Yeah. So Keith Jones will join us coming up at 9:05. Where are they in terms of their plan since when he and Danny Briere teamed up to build this rebuild? Tough loss over the weekend. They did get the all-important point, Johnny.
Well, yeah, but the problem is you're trailing Columbus, and they got 2.
You don't want points.
And they
or
got
a
2.
point. You want 2 points.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. We're also getting you a spot in Knockout, giving you the highest grossing film by year. Our latest qualifier, Joe from Reading, 1996. It was Independence Day. I was wondering how many people would guess Men in Black, which came out the very next year.
He had such a run.
He had a run, man. And it carried into the 2000s, too. iRobot, Hitch, Pursuit of Happiness, one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
Good run.
He did a very good run.
And then
that's
up
what Dave
until-
Dombrowski said.
And if he just didn't
Good run.
slap Chris Rock in the face, who
Yeah,
knows?
it's a good
where he-
run. Now, Independence Day with 2 of the stupidest things ever, though.
Yeah, you were telling me about
That the fireball is getting ready to come through, and they hide behind a steel door underneath the bridge.
Yeah, that works.
And then the fireball comes through, and somehow the steel door doesn't melt, and they're okay, and they don't get melted.
Yeah.
And then they're
It's good
able.
steel.
They're able to start a truck that somehow has gasoline in it, and like the first lady is able to drive a truck, so the gasoline truck doesn't explode after a fireball passes over it.
The physics are what you're worried about in the alien invasion movie?
I mean, it's just dumb.
Hey,
I mean, that's like
guns are
continuity
out there,
stuff.
baby. All right, your next one. 1973. We're going way back here.
Wow.
1973, the highest grossing film that year.
Uh-huh.
It may make your head spin watching it.
That's easy.
I sound like I could do like
That's easy.
corny classic rock radio.
You could.
Hit the post with that, baby.
It's a good clue right
All
there.
right,
though.
first one,
great
or
one.
whoever texted it, if you're right, you'll be in the running. 610-632-0975. All right, before Keith Jones joins us, again, what we've been talking about this morning, what is one word that you could use to describe how you're feeling about Philadelphia sports? But if I asked you, John, one word specifically about the Flyers that you would use to describe your feeling, because the Flyers are, if you talk to 2 people about the Flyers, you may get 2 totally different answers on how people feel about the Flyers right now.
Sure.
Sometimes during a Flyers game, like, it's best not to be on social media.
Oh, no. It's just avoid it. Avoid it. There's a lot of you're giving me one word for the Flyers right now?
Is patience still?
That's got to go by the
you're
wayside.
past
No,
that,
because
yeah.
I'm done at patience after this year.
Sure.
Because I didn't think they'd be a playoff team this year. And I thought if you thought they should be a playoff team this year, I'm going to tell you I think you don't know a lot about a rebuild in hockey. But next year, I'm going to demand a playoff berth. Like, I think it should be 4 years. They should be a playoff team, get themselves in. I would say right now, sketchy. It's sketchy because there's some really good points. There's some points that are sketchy. There's things that I expected to be better at this point. There's some things that are actually worse than I expected them to be at this point. There's some talent that I expected to be further along. There's some talent but the Flyers are letting some of their young talent play, which I really like.
I like that too.
I really like.
So who better to ask this question than the president of hockey operations for the Philadelphia Flyers? Keith Jones joins us here on Kincade and Salciunas.
He's not really familiar with this talk radio thing.
Yeah, this radio thing. So we got to be really easy with him. Good morning, Keith.
What are you at are you at morning mass or something?
Or a carousel?
Isn't that the best? I walked outside here. I'm in Orlando visiting my grandson.
Yes.
And there's a gigantic church beside me. So as soon as I stepped out to make the call, they started playing some beautiful music.
Well, we would all be praying for, a lot of things regarding your hockey team. So that's good. Go in there.
That's good.
Yeah, go in there. Say a few extras. There you go.
Hey, this is beautiful. So Keith, we want to start, talking about the rebuild. You guys obviously had a plan, and I know plans can't always go perfectly, but you had a plan when you and Danny first joined forces to bring the Flyers back. When you first started, do you believe you are still on pace with where you want to be at this current point in 2026?
I do. I think we all would love to rush it and make it happen quicker, but it's just not the way it is in the environment that we're in today. One of the things I'm really happy about is we are alleviating a lot of the cap pressure that we had in the past. So a lot of the deals that we had to work out of, including the Kevin Hayes deal, the Ryan Ellis deal, Cam Atkinson's deal, all of that money is starting to come off the books. That I'm really excited about. So that was one of the objectives when Danny and I took over, was to clean up the books. So that is well on its way, and I'm very encouraged about that. The other part of it was to add younger talent and accumulate draft picks and, start to put those picks into play, allowing the players enough time to fully develop, not to rush them, but to watch them grow, and hope that our assessments on where they'll end up in the future align and they end up being big parts of the franchise as we move forward. So those things are all, I think, in a very good place. And I'm really excited about the future. So that's kind of my side of where I think things sit now compared to when we took over.
Do you believe that the first year under Rick Tocchet has been smooth? What word would you use to describe his tenure?
I think Rick has done a really good job of trying to implement his philosophies, his defense style of coaching, and try to bring it to an entirely new team with a new group of players, and with a group of players that in some cases are very young. I do think there's challenges that come with that, but overall I think he's done a really good job. I look at where we're at, and obviously without a major hiccup for about a 6-week period, we're talking about a team that, with where we're at in our growth, isn't quite there yet, would have been sitting in a much higher place in the standings above some really good hockey teams. So I think he's done a really good job of grinding out wins, but obviously there's going to be bumps along the way in that process also. So I'm quite pleased with Rick. I look forward to seeing what happens in the future.
Are you pleased with what you were able to accomplish before the NHL trade deadline?
Yeah, if the right deal is not there, we're never going to make it. So we're only going to make the deal that makes the Flyers better in the future. And I think Danny's done a great job of showing patience in the deals that he has made. And I think he's got a really good feel for what a player's value is. So, if you look back at the Sean Walker deal, getting a first-round pick back from Colorado, that was, probably more than many would have anticipated that Danny would be able to get. I thought that was a very shrewd move on his part. But most importantly, he's established who he is. He sets his price, and the price, does not budge within reason. So for other general managers that are getting used to Danny's style, they understand that, in 2 years down the road, they don't think back and go, well, he told me he wanted a first, but he traded him for a second, and it just didn't work. He changed his mind on me, but that wasn't what he told me. So I think he's established a certain level of integrity that will be looked upon in the right way as we continue to build this thing and push it forward.
Keith, there is a statistical evidence to say that a sophomore slump in the NHL is a thing. A regression, maybe, a little bit for a second-year player is a thing. But talk a little bit about the development of Matvei Mishkov and why you are still confident that that thing is on the right track.
I'm not just confident, I'm excited. I think this year has been obviously very up and down, but I can't wait for the future because I know the talent, I know the player, I know the growth that has taken place this year. I knew it wasn't going to be a straight line, but when I watch him now and his attention to detail and the way that he has improved his defensive play, and on top of that now is starting to get his jump back and starting to make the plays that we know he's capable of playing, I think it only goes up from here. So, yes, the sophomore slump is real, but more importantly, during this slump, there's been, some valuable things that have been added to his game. So I think the future is extremely bright. I'm as excited about him today as I was after last season and prior to that after we drafted him. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next year.
Keith Jones joining us here on Kincade and Salciunas. Keith, you talked about the youth and a lot of younger players playing for the Flyers right now. You also still have some vets here, Sean Couturier, of course, Travis Konechny. How important is it to have some of the, I can't believe I'm going to say older guys, but some of the older guys sort of usher in some of these new Flyers as you continue this rebuild?
I think it matters. I think it's important to have some pieces to insulate some of the younger guys because some of the new guys have come in and made a very good showing to start, but as we know that it's never a straight line. So there are going to be wobbles that take place. There's 10-game stretches where a young guy will decline and try to figure out the mental side of the game and try to deal with pucks not going in the net and trying to deal with ice time being reduced and all the things that go with becoming a good pro. But when you have guys around them that have done that stuff before, are continuing to be productive players, most importantly, that's a great way for the kids to learn. So, and there's also a willingness to accept your role changing, where you may have been a prime power play player at one point in your career, and you may have to adjust and become a more defensive player later on. I can think back to when I played with Bobby Carpenter in Washington, who was a 50-goal scorer who then turned into a outstanding checking line centerman. There was an adjustment period for him, but once he figured it out, he went on and won some cups with the New Jersey Devils in that role. I think that can be something that's important when you're moving a team forward. So, a player like Sean Couturier comes to mind in that regard. And Sean's willingness to do whatever it takes to help the team is really important as we move forward with these kids.
What's the biggest thing about the job you're in that you didn't know going into it? Because honestly, I mean, you and I had discussed it. I mean, you didn't know you would take a job like that just a few months before you took it. So what's the biggest thing you didn't know about it that you've experienced?
There's no real surprises, John. That's the one thing, because I work with someone like Dan Hilferty, I have such a respect for what he brings to everything that we're trying to do. If anything, I've learned a lot from him and how you manage people because he's excelled at that and everything he's done in his life. So there is some lessons that have been learned there as we try to, continue to push this thing forward. But yeah, I guess patience is probably part of it that can be difficult, but also having people around you that keep you in form is really helpful. So I'm just really grateful to have the people around that I have that have kind of helped me transition into this position.
Keith, you bring up patience. How difficult is it for you and for Danny and the entire front office to sort of try to stand your ground with this rebuild, but also in the back of your mind, I'm sure part of you wants to fill the Xfinity Mobile Arena and have playoff hockey return in Broad Street because you know what it's like here. So have you had difficult conversations about speeding up the process versus still trying to be patient with your rebuild?
Yeah, we look at everything on a personal level. We all can't wait for the building to be packed again and playing and playoff games, but we're also realistic on the timeline to do that. It's getting closer. There's no doubt about that, but we're not there yet. So we'll continue to look at every creative way to make the team better. I think there's a lot of improvements that have happened that we're looking at that we have in the near future in players like Porter Martone and the return of Tyson Forrester. Those things are going to be very important for us. Specifically, they provide us with boosts in areas that we needed in the future of our team. And that's a guy like Martone in front of the net on the power play, a guy like Forrester with his one-timing ability to help on special teams, both the way he kills penalties and the way he can shoot the puck on the power play. We're still looking for pieces to improve that part of our game. Obviously, the power play is not where we want it to be, but we have specific thoughts on players that are going to help continue to get that thing in a much better spot. And I'm excited about where those players fit in. Jack Berglund's another player that's going to be one of those net front guys that can provide screens, intelligent picks, help players around him find ways to score on the power play. Those type of things excite me, and sometimes I feel a little bit impatient on those things, but I also recognize that we believe those guys are going to really help in that regard.
I know you to be a very good sport, but do you look at the sports talk radio industry the same way now that you are sitting in a spot where you face constant criticism from the world of sports talk radio?
I look at it the exact same way because I did the exact same thing. I constantly criticize. Now, luckily, when I was, on the air for 21 years, the Flyers weren't talked about. So we didn't spend much time on them. I'm happy that people are spending time.
You might not have gotten that job if they had been.
The correct, 100%. It would have made my job that much more difficult.
Sure.
But I bet you we taught Flyers hockey, I want to say 20 times in 20 years. and if it was that, it's more than it was.
That's great.
So it's less.
You could always blame the host that you worked with.
Yeah, blame Angelo.
That's part of it. That was all day. That was all day.
There we go.
So I'm happy that people are, passionate and care, and with passion comes anger and all the great things that we love about sports. So I appreciate it, and I'm happy that there's interest.
Keith, we appreciate the time.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming on this morning.
Keith.
Thanks a ton, guys. Appreciate it, and keep up the great
Thanks,
work.
Grandpa.
See you guys.
Keith Jones joining us here on Kincade and Salciunas.
Unbelievable.
I wonder if he thinks the state of sports talk radio is
he's exactly the
going
same
downhill or not.
He's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to concern himself with it, and he certainly wouldn't tear down an industry that that was good to him. He wouldn't tear it down after he's done with it. That's unbelievable. But Keith is a very he knows what this is. He knows what this industry is, and he respects it, and he's fine with it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I haven't gotten the occasional text.
Well, of course not.
It's funny
because he listens, and we appreciate him listening.
Now, what do you guys think about because the word he kept using was excited for everything. What do you guys think about the excitement level that he has for where the Flyers are at? Is that warranted from what you guys have seen?
They're excited to see the next step.
I'm very excited.
We all are.
I got to tell you this. Porter Martone is going to be a name that I believe Cooper Salciunas will grow up playing in his basement, playing street hockey, playing whatever it is. He will want a Martone T-shirt, jersey. He will want a jersey, a Martone jersey. I believe this kid will be that kind of player. I believe that there are players on the horizon that are that kind of talent. But I think Martone is one of those guys. I have some friends in the college ranks of college hockey who tell me he is just a standout star waiting to come, but he has the swagger to fit Philly.
Well, that's good.
An attitude, which is great.
So he won't end up in Anaheim like that other guy.
No. He is very excited. In fact, he fits, and he fits perfectly.
Love
That's
that.
great.
By the way, Cooper Salciunas is still big Jalen Hurts guy.
Good.
Number one
We like that.
favorite player. He has moved off of Brandon Marsh. Thank God.
Oh, grow up.
I didn't have the heart to tell him, man.
So what is it now?
Big Bryce Harper fan right now.
Well, the games have been too late. He hasn't been able to see the World Baseball Classic. Okay, understand.
But those are the two. He does not have a favorite hockey or basketball player.
He doesn't have
No.
Dad's
and we
love of
watch the
Joel
Flyers
Embiid.
a lot. He does not have the same love as Joel Embiid as I do.
Well, that'd be strange.
Look, I'm proud. He's his own kid. You know, we could have sports talk debate at the Salciunas household. It's all good. All right, coming up next, we'll give you another movie, highest grossing film by year, for your chance to get a spot in Knockout. Do we have a qualifier for our most recent one?
I'm still working on getting the text back.
All right, the answer, by the way, was The Exorcist.
What a scary movie.
Makes your head spin. How about that?
I did not. That was a fall asleep with the lights on movie. Terrible. Horrible scary.
I would imagine, man.
Horrible scary.
Back then.
Have you ever seen it?
Yes, I've seen it.
Horrible.
But back then.
Oh, and back then.
You weren't used to effects like
and
that.
I didn't watch it. I didn't see it at the time. I was too young. I saw it on Prism later, and I was horrified. And I think my brother may have scared me at the window or something with it. Oh, horrible.
God, that sucks.
Horrible.
All right, coming up next, we'll give you another movie. Also, a prominent figure in the NFL who passed away recently had his valuables auctioned away. I don't know if you guys even saw this. When I say valuables, I don't even think you can guess what he owned. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Goedert back for another year. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles and Dallas Goedert agreed to a one-year, $7 million deal yesterday to bring him back for a ninth season in Philadelphia. And with that move, the Birds also avoided a major cap hit. Would have been $20.5 million dead cap on this year if Dallas Goedert had signed elsewhere in free agency. They also made sure the tight end spot was shored up at least for another year. So some good work by the Birds over the weekend. Sixers took down the Blazers yesterday, 109-103. They've now won 2 straight without most of their starting lineup available. They play the Nuggets tomorrow night. Flyers lost in a shootout to the Blue Jackets on Saturday. They're 6 points out of a wild card spot. 16 games to play. They're off till Wednesday. Phillies have begun to cut down on their spring training roster. We're just a little over a week until opening day. And Team USA, they found a dramatic win over the Dominican Republic last night in the World Baseball Classic semifinals, a 2-1 final. Controversial final strike call as well. But either way, USA's on to the championship. They will face the winner of Italy, Venezuela. Penn, Nova, they're on to March Madness. They're dancing. Penn's the 14th seed in the South region. Nova, the 8th seed in the West. So some Philly representation there in the tourney. This update is brought to you by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in store, or you can shop online. Staples, that was easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
you tune in Middays with Marks. You guessed it with me, John Marks. That's coming up at 10 o'clock. Let's get back to more of Kincade Salciunas right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The final hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
All right, Fran in Drexel Hill, our latest qualifier. It was The Exorcist, highest grossing film by year. I give you a little clue. You text in what you believe is the right answer for your spot, for a chance to get a spot in Knockout, excuse me. All right, Connor, we haven't checked it since the 8 o'clock hour, but I imagine that the poll is still standing strong thanks to our man, Dr. Avidan Appel of Iron Mountain Men's Health.
You don't have to check to know that. It's always up. But we will check it again here. Are you more or less confident about A.J. Brown remaining an Eagle after Dallas Goedert re-signing? 55% of responders are saying they're more confident. 45% saying less.
Just a lot of strong polls. I'm still just confused as to what makes you more or less confident.
And that's what is interesting to hear from people.
Yeah, so Jimmy Moe chimes in, irrelevant to the situation, in my opinion. I think he's gone either way.
And that's sort of where we are.
Yeah.
I don't believe the Dallas Goedert situation has really anything to do with anything. I think they're glad to have Dallas back, but it's the way it is. By the way, again, and this is just from somebody talking with somebody around the Eagles, Dallas Goedert this was not a situation of Dallas Goedert saying, I'm passing on the bag to come back to the Eagles at a discount.
There was no bag.
Like people are trying to spin it that way. That's not what this situation was.
Now, I'm shocked.
And by the way, we're pissed that it wasn't for him because we have a ton of respect for Dallas Goedert.
Happy for
and
the
such a
Eagles.
Great dude. Such a great dude.
I'm just shocked there was no market. Like, none.
2 years in a row, there's no market for him.
And this one less of a market.
But this year's worse because he had to come back at a price cut. This was not Dallas Goedert putting loyalty to the Eagles ahead of going and getting a payday. No, there was no payday.
Yeah,
there was no payday.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, like I'm not putting him in the Zach Ertz category, right? There's a level above where Dallas Goedert's play has been. But Zach Ertz has been getting paid, and he's like 50 years old, and the dude's been getting contracts.
Yeah, it's just not the same. Just not the same.
And Dallas Goedert does more.
And Dallas Goedert does do more. Not now, pass catching, Ertz a better pass.
Yes, because Goddard's got the case of the dropsies every once in a while.
But he's been better with that. Last 2 years, he's been much better with
much
that.
better. Yeah, it's surprising. All right, your next movie, this one.
Okay.
1956.
What?
All right. But your clue is that it will air nationally in the next couple of weeks. We talked about it last week on the air, actually.
Huh.
Highest grossing film, 1956. It will air, I believe, on ABC in the next couple of weeks. 610-632-0975. You're stumped on this one. I think you're stumped.
I took a guess to Connor.
I wonder how many people will get this one.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was the highest grossing film. 1956. All right. Speaking of grossing lots of money, did you guys see the auction that went down this past week?
So somebody died?
It was a 3-day auction.
Somebody died and their family auctioned off their stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
It was Jim Irsay's auction that broke 23 world records.
Holy, what did he auction off?
This guy, the family, the Irsay family, got $94 million from this auction.
What did he auction off?
Doesn't he have like a bunch of guitars or something?
Yes, he's a big musician. They're a music fan, but also sports fan. So here are some of the random things that were auctioned off. How about the saddle used by jockey Ron Turcotte? Sorry, I was not around for Secretariat in 1973. $1.5 million.
I'm surprised that didn't go for more.
Set a record for the highest paid horse racing item ever.
Okay.
How about game-worn Wayne Gretzky Edmonton Oilers jersey when he scored his 500th career goal?
Okay.
$952,000.
Okay.
This one I'm surprised it sold for low. Muhammad Ali's fight robe from Ali versus Liston 2.
Oh, well, that fight's not a big one, right?
I still think it's a pretty big deal. $444,000.
What do you do? Just wear that around the house?
Yeah, dude, maybe.
No, too much respect. You'd have to display
Just
that
got out of the shower. Let me put on my Ali robe.
How about Jackie Robinson's bat from 1953? $406,000. The spiral notebook containing 28 pages of Sylvester Stallone's original Rocky script. $508,000. That's just a couple of items, and then he done a lot of music stuff, as you mentioned. He, David Gilmour's
but he got
Floyd's,
$94 million.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you said.
Well, the sports stuff was the low selling. How about David Gilmour of Pink Floyd's famed Black Stratocaster sold for $14.55 million. The original typescript of On the Road? Is that On the Road Again, the song? I don't know.
On the Road Again?
$12 million it sold for. So there was a lot of like multi-million-dollar things that he sold.
Wow.
This guy had all kinds of stuff. $6 million for a Kurt Cobain guitar. That's a pretty big deal.
Okay.
For people that are into that kind of stuff. Yeah, so $94 million in a 3-day auction.
They're still trying to we were just watching something the other night. They're still trying to open up they keep getting shot down on trying to open up they know that somebody doctored his suicide note. Factually.
Who, Cobain?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to Earth.
No,
I was like,
no.
what?
Kurt Cobain's suicide note was not written completely by Kurt Cobain. They know that for a fact.
Yeah, Jason Martinez has said numerous times, the girlfriend.
Somebody, Courtney, is there, like whoever it was, could be, at the time, it could be anybody, but his suicide note was not written by the same person the whole way. You can tell his writing, and then the writing changes. So they've tried to open it up that he was murdered, but they will not reopen the investigation.
Yeah. Now, how crazy is that?
That's
all that
incredible.
Money. Philadelphia 9, who the hell is buying this stuff? Rich people, man.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what do you – oh, my gosh,
people
that's
that have the money to drop $16 million on memorabilia.
You know what's crazier than people buying it? One guy having owned all of it. Like, what'd you do all
Dude, exactly. You just stare at it. But you're an owner of an NFL franchise, $94 million is a holiday bonus. Like these – the Ursays have so much money. And whenever they want to sell the team, you know how these organizations are. How much is the most? I wonder what the worth for an organization is. The Eagles has got to be what?
Billions. Well, it's billions.
You're about to find out.
Like, what do we
more?
Seahawks are up for sale as the reigning Super Bowl champions.
Aren't the Seahawks up for like $4 billion? Something like that.
I don't know what the evaluation is.
$4 or $5 billion? I thought.
Let's see here.
The
Seattle Seahawks are officially up for sale and could fetch a record $8 billion.
Well, then seriously, the Eagles have to be $10 billion. Then,
yeah. So that's why they do have all these things. It might not be nonsense to everybody, but still, that's crazy. That much money. All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, nothing about guitars, nothing about the Rocky manuscript, but we do have people checking in on their one word for Philadelphia sports. Colby in Central PA says chaotic. The Eagles are a chameleon, the Flyers are hot and cold, the Sixers are half-staffed, and the Phillies are unproven.
Phillies need Dr. Avidan Appel. They're half-staffed.
Yeah, look, they need it in October. They don't need it from March to September.
See, I disagree with you. I think that, first of all, I think this division is going to be more of a dogfight than people are assuming.
As long as the Braves stop losing players every 5 minutes.
And I also believe that they need to I'm going to ignore the people who say, oh, wake me up in October. I'm going to ignore them, but I'm also going to believe that they have more relevancy than they've ever had.
Yeah, it was very big of you when you said that.
I'm going to believe that because it's hard to ignore. It's hard to ignore it, but I'm going to try to tune them out. But it's going to be hard to ignore them. It'll be hard.
Well, because they have every right.
No, they have every right.
That's the thing. Anyone that says, wake me up,
no, they have every
right, man.
And
they've reached that point.
They have every single right to believe that. But I'm going to try to not let them ruin my summer.
No, I mean,
Of
you're watching the game,
enjoyment.
just put the Twitter down. Watch the
You know,
game
exactly,
and enjoy
exactly.
yourself.
Just try to enjoy it.
By the way, little note in the world of basketball. Shams saying that there will be a vote in March, later this month, March 24th and the 25th. Board of Governors in the NBA will meet to explore adding expansion teams exclusively in Las Vegas and Seattle. It would be cool to see Seattle have a basketball team again. It's also not going to be cool to see two more teams that have players not playing due to load management. Do we really need more teams?
No. There's not enough talented teams in the NBA to begin with right now.
That's the thing. There isn't.
There is not.
A lot of teams stink in basketball. And we're going to add two more? If anything, you should subtract two.
Well, I mean, honestly, more leagues should contract than expand.
Nets and Jazz, welcome to March Madness.
Hey, the NHL may expand too. Unnecessary, but they may expand also.
I get it. It's a business, and they're going to make money. They will, TV deals, all that kind of stuff. But it's just, your product already stinks. Why add to it? Why don't you fix your product before you add to it? All right, coming up next, we'll get our winner, Robert from Levittown. The 10 Commandments was the answer, John.
Wow, the 10 Commandments.
It airs.
I guessed Wizard of Oz.
Weeks.
I guessed the Wizard of Oz.
Guess. I think that was
I didn't know when the Wizard
piece.
of I didn't know when the Wizard of Oz was.
I think that was a 40s piece. I'm not.
I was still scared of those flying monkeys, and I'm still scared
they
today.
Are terrifying. All right, so we'll announce our winner for the spot and knockout. Also, we'll do a little look ahead: Flyers, Sixers, Phillies, because we got a lot coming up in the next 10 days. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Oh, let me tell you about my friends at Family Company Jewelers. All right, so you got past the Valentine's Day, extravaganza, right? Well, let's be honest. Getting engaged could happen any day of the year. You don't have to go with the Valentine's Day route. You don't have to go with like the holiday route. I did it in August. I proposed in August, so it's not like I did some specific day.
I did Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, see, that's a good party day.
5-5.
So if you're shopping for an engagement ring, look, I know that it could feel a lot like shopping for a used car because you walk in. If you're not somebody that's really into jewelry, hello, I wear my wedding ring. That's all I got cooking. You walk into a jeweler and you're like, oh, my God, what am I looking for? It's not like every single day you're buying a car. So you're left wondering whether or not you're actually getting a good price, if you're actually getting what you paid for, if you just fell for some sales pitch. This is why Family Company Jewelers on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey is your place to go because they change the way that people buy jewelry by making it simple. It's honest. It's pressure-free. There's no sales commissions. There's no upselling, no games, just real transparent pricing. I was just there a month ago. You walk into the showroom, the price tags are there. Like you're not doing the whole, all right, let me ask the person behind the counter how much this costs, and you might get one answer and the next person gets another answer. No, the price tags are right there. In fact, every engagement ring and every piece of jewelry has it clearly listed, so browse comfortably. If you have questions, you can ask them. The team of Family Company Jewelers, I trust them with my life when it comes to jewelry. And you can actually enjoy the process of finding something meaningful. They're family-owned. They're family-run, focused on doing right by every customer who walks through the door like they have done for me for numerous years now. Stop by on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey. You can shop online anytime at FamilyJewelers.com. But I'm telling you, go to the showroom, man. The people there are fantastic. Family Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
No hot takes, no rage bait, just The Fanatic.
9:48 here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic. We'll announce our winner for the spot in Knockout here momentarily. We've been doing highest grossing film by year. The Oscars was yesterday, so we were
And you didn't watch?
No. It's just not. It's never been my thing. I've never been an award ceremony guy, like for anything. Movies.
It was on at like dinner time.
Film stuff.
Yesterday.
Music.
Like they were showing people arriving on one of the channels. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just not my world. It never has been. Like, it doesn't do it for me, but it does do it for people. Look, there's people that watch The Masked Singer.
Yes.
That's a world that I will never be in. There's people that watched Big Bang Theory. That's a world that and
I loved it.
Millions of people watch these shows, and you're the only person I've ever heard that said loved it.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That's just the way the world works.
And you watch that stupid where people are fighting dragons and all that stuff.
Don't even come after
Give me a break.
Hell yeah, man.
Give me a break. My wife watches it too. It's nonsense. I walk through and I'm like, what is that?
The next 10 days.
Brothers sleeping with sisters and nonsense.
Oh, yeah, it is weird. The next 10 days, imperative for
Look
both.
at that word.
Thank you. For
What is
both the
that?
Sixers and Flyers.
Where'd you get that word?
I pulled it out of my ass.
Seriously.
So the Sixers are off tonight, but they play the Nuggets tomorrow.
All right.
Chalk it up. L. All right. But then you have two winnable games, even without Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and Paul George. And that's the game in Sacramento against the Kings and the game in Utah against the Jazz. You have a chance to win both those games. Chalk up an L to the Thunder because Jared McCain will come to Philadelphia and drop 40. And then you got the Bulls. Like these are their game, and that's knockout night. That's when Paul George is back.
Okay.
I would imagine if you're eyeing up a return to Joel Embiid, it's one of those two home games, right? The Thunder or the Bulls. Maxey's going to be out for an extended period of time. But the Sixers need to win these games against these lesser teams. If they do not, they're not falling out of the playoffs altogether in terms of
there's
1
no
through
way.
10.
There's no way they're falling. Well, you're not in the playoffs till you win the play-in.
Right, you got to win the play-in first.
Right.
If they want to be the 7th or 8th seed in terms of the play-in tournament, so one of the top 2 seeds, they got to win 2 of these next 4 games. And there's no excuses. Like the Jazz are actively tanking.
They're terrible.
The Kings stink. They're doing smelling salts before the game just to get through it. Like
the Jazz are getting fined for quitting on games.
Yeah, you have to win those 2 games. And then the Flyers, I mean, you've been tracking it for a while. They have to start piling up points.
They have to. And it's coming together. It's coming together. They're on pace for, they win 7 games. They will have shown under the 3 years of Briere and Jones a succession of climbing a ladder of points. But this is where I said I didn't expect playoffs this year, but I expect playoffs next year.
Yeah.
This team's going to look different next year, and they have money to spend this offseason, but there's not a lot of the
big free
money
agency
guys.
class.
No.
The team scooped those guys up. They re-signed them.
They re-signed their own guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Flyers kind of missed out on that.
You can trade for contracts.
Yes.
That's where some of that money can be
getting it off the books.
Right.
Tough thing for the Flyers in your playoff chances. Because of the Olympics, a lot of back-to-backs.
Yes, but here's the good part. You have 3, like one of the teams you're trailing, you have 3 games with Detroit left.
Yep.
So you're trailing Detroit. You got 3 games with Detroit. You could make that interesting. Take care of Detroit head-to-head. You got you're trailing. The other night, you gave Columbus an extra point. You didn't want to do that. You got another game with Columbus. You got a game with Boston. You got some opportunities to climb. And you got some bad teams. But this week's it. You're at Anaheim, at Los Angeles, at San Jose. By next Monday morning, if they don't come home from this road trip with 2 points minimum, if they go 1-2, they're alive, and I mean just alive. They come home 2-1. I'm telling you, they're interesting. But if they come home 1-2, they're alive. They come home anything less than 1-2, I believe it's over.
All right,
it is over with a capital O.
And then 10 days from now, opening day.
Yes,
can't wait.
Right around the corner.
All right, so tonight we have Venezuela versus Italy. Who we siding with?
We got to root for Italy
because you want to see the Aaron Nola versus the United States of America game.
Who's the tougher game?
Oh, I don't even care. I want the Nola Neither of these teams, they both pale in comparison to the team
Team
you just
USA
beat.
should beat either of these teams, even though they already lost to Italy.
Yeah, get your revenge on the Italians and see Aaron Nola versus Nolan McLean, NL East showdown in the World Baseball Classic final.
Venezuela, the favorite today on the money line, minus 196. If you want to, if you're somebody that's rooting hard for Team Italy, you can bet the winner on FanDuel right now, the World Baseball Classic. USA, heavy favorite, minus 390. One, because they're already in it. Two, as you just said, they're the better team. You can get Italy right now, plus 1,300 to win the World Baseball Classic.
It's not the craziest bet.
No, because they already beat Team USA. So if they sneak out another win, then Nola dazzles. Interesting. All right. Joe from Reading is the winner of the spot and knockout pair of tickets. Sixers Bulls, March 25th at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, and the spot and knockout. Johnny and I were talking about during the break. The movie industry changed so much. It went from like creating movies to like, let's get box office splashes. The Avengers had 4 top grossing movies in the span of a decade. And from what I heard I'm not an Avengers guy. From what I heard, it fell off. But because everybody was already in the story so much that they had to keep watching.
I've never watched any one of those movies except on a plane.
Yeah, I'll
put them on a plane when I'm not really paying attention, and I'll watch the action, and I'll go, okay, this is some pretty good action scenes. A lot of them look so CGI though that it just doesn't do it for me. But it looks cool.
I'm sure.
Like the
and
stuff
if you're
looks
into
cool.
It,
you know what I
they're
mean?
sick movies.
Yes, I mean the CGI is pretty incredible.
But let's not pretend like it's the highest level script.
No, right, exactly.
That's what you're saying.
Hey, dude, I watched General Hospital.
That's
let's
the
be
lowest
honest.
level script.
All right, here you go. One more for you guys. From 2001 to 2007, we had like a monopoly going on. We had 2 Harry Potter movies,
Okay.
2 Lord of the Ring movies, and 2 Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Back-to-back years, by the way, for the Pirates of the Caribbean. 06, 07, highest grossing movie. What was the movie in 04 that stood on its own?
Do we get a clue?
Cartoon. And it was the sequel.
Despicable Me.
No.
No.
Shrek 2.
Shrek 2
Very good.
was the highest
By the way,
grossing movie in
big Shrek guy.
2004.
Have you ever seen, Connor, I know you're not a big, have you ever seen Shrek the musical?
No.
You would love it.
Connor,
It is hilarious.
next vacation, that's what
No,
you're doing,
it's
man.
hilarious.
I'm
If
a
you
single
ever,
31-year-old man. If you ever catch me at Shrek 2, the musical,
I'll
put me
say,
I'll
Connor,
put your date,
Connor, here's something where
Put me down.
Here's something where you could absolutely. That might be why you're single.
Oh, yeah, because
Is
I'm not seeing
take
enough
a lady.
Shrek
No,
musicals.
You got to expand
No.
your game, man.
taking
Shrek 2.
taking a lady to a musical like something like that is a fun thing that you would actually enjoy, and she'll be like, "Wow, he's not some stupid meathead." It might just be opening the horizon.
John and Sean are about to call us stupid meatheads because we're late.
Well, that's
Everybody
it.
have a great rest of your day.
Those two are going to call us meatheads.
Middays with Marks next here on The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A 1-year deal for Goedert.